Field. Kiermaier back onto the track, gives it a look at the wall. It is gone. Goodbye. Off the batter's eye for the captain, Aaron Judge.
1-0 pitch. Fly ball to deep right. Are you kidding me? Another grand slam. 7-1 Brewers on the 5th grand slam in the last 8 days.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here on the Pillar Exterior stage. What is up, DB?
What up? How we doing? How are things?
Things are good. I'm actually having a really good day so far. Do you know why?
Because it's early?
No.
Because tennis is on.
Because it's the opening day of the Wimbledon Championship.
I knew it was going to be a tennis thing for you.
I love Wimbledon.
I don't like Wimbledon and Wimbledon. Kind of like Simpleton.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. All right,
Uncle Cool or whatever. Is that guy's name?
DJ Cool.
DJ Cool.
I saw him in concert in Lincoln.
He's a little older now, so I call him Uncle.
Surprise, surprise.
That didn't take long. Didn't take long at all.
Did you get my text message this weekend?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because you didn't respond.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't know where you were Friday. I was flipping talking to myself. Oh, this dude napping? I didn't hear from you for like 24 hours. And then the first time I did, it was in a lousy group text.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it was Sam McKewon telling us he was on vacation. And Shane, somehow alerted the crew for no good particular reason. And then you...
No, I alerted the crew.
That was the first time I heard from you. I'm like, this idiot.
I mean, you can text me too.
I'm like, this dude went 0 for 2 with my last 2 TikToks. I'm done. I felt like I was going to cut you off. What were you doing? Sleeping?
On Friday? What was
like the middle of the day. Look at us fighting like old
Friday. What was
like
I
an old I would never marry you couple. I'm like,
you should be so lucky.
Like a couple of presidential candidates.
Nobody ask you.
I don't remember. I don't even remember what I was doing Friday. That's my bad. I'll be better at responding to the TikTok.
Yeah, you're out.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, so don't be pot kettling me. Oh yeah, you went a minute. Yeah, what were you doing?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Friday was a long time ago now.
Yeah, but still, you know.
But you know.
Yes.
No, you know what? I texted you. I was like, okay, because we had this conversation on Friday, right?
We had several.
Where I'm counting how many black friends I have.
Oh, yeah.
Still,
well, I thought that was rhetorical because you go, was it bad that I had to wait? How?
No, I said, wouldn't it have been weirder if I knew off the top of my head the exact number of black friends that I have?
Yeah, probably.
That'd have been weirder, right?
You were gonna be darned if you did, darned if.
I feel like I was on the right side of it.
Doesn't matter though, because once you went to one hand, I was like,
I got to 6. We're good.
No,
that's 2 hands.
Well, one popped in like 2 hours later.
Listen, I forgot C-Dub because he moved to Texas. That's not my fault.
So I was like, and I'm the one that knew that he went to Texas.
I knew he was in Texas. I was at his we had a little going away thing.
How many did he have? Because I went to his going away thing.
I don't know. He must have had a couple. He must have kept his groups a little separated.
Yeah, because there was only black people at this one.
Yeah, so I didn't qualify. He was probably like, I don't know what to do with this guy. We're gonna put him over there.
And it was at Johnny T's, and I don't know if I could see you at Johnny T's.
I've never even heard of Johnny T's.
I think it's a pretty cool little spot.
Yeah.
I almost rented it out for my birthday.
Yeah.
Because he had, I'm not going to put his business out there, but it's a cool little setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
24th and 1 block north of Sprague. So I believe that would be Parker? Might be Lothrop. No, it's 30th.
30th and Sprague.
Yeah. It's a little standalone, cool little building. It has this nice little gated area. Not for like Craig and Day, but like for secure. It's a cool little spot. He did a lot of renovations. And you know what? You'd love him.
Yeah.
Because he put in Kill my door.
Oh, I do love a good cigar.
Yeah. So the reason why I didn't do it for my birthday is he opened it back up that weekend. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. It's one of those. He's a good dude.
I don't spend a ton of time on 30th and Sprague.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I
get it. If you ever grocery shopped and you could actually cook, there's a couple places around there where I like to get my meat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't cook at all.
That's unfortunate. That's really my only. No, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but it is probably my piece. Like already this morning, I was thinking, I hope it doesn't rain.
So you can grill or be outside?
No, when I want to just sit outside. And I never fancied myself as a sit outside person.
Yeah.
But I am. I need some help moving my Blackstone from the garage to outside.
Yeah.
Are you in?
Yeah.
I don't think it's heavy.
It's probably just like cumbersome.
The gas isn't hooked up either, so it's not going to be heavy.
That'll be fine.
I'm just afraid to put it out there with all the rain. Like I have a cover, like a lid, but I don't have like the tarp.
Oh, you need like the tarp cover.
Well, how do you know? Because you're out there jamming on your Blackstone?
No, I just see other people do it. What?
I was gonna make a joke about stone, but it's more for naan and tandoori chicken.
It's a different kind of stone. So that's more of an oven, I think. What do they call them? Like clay pot oven?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not stone. Come on.
Oh, well done. Yeah. So like I just I spent some time with my niece. That was it was uplifting and it was sobering at once.
Yeah, that's hard.
You know, she's so stinking strong. And they have this she's hooked up to she feeds intravenously.
Yeah.
And I just watch her.
Yeah.
And I got ready to leave. And her Byron's like, "Hey, do you want to say goodbye?" And she's a little cuddle bug. She just doesn't really want her mom, obviously, to put her down. And she looked up and she waved. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go attack the rest of this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was cool. I had to take a little inflatable pool over to her brother, who's 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it just the simple things. Loved watching it being blown up.
Yeah.
And anticipating the cold water. And I should bring him in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool little dude.
Well, and
Daxton. We just call him Dax.
And
I know 2 Daxtons now.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think I'm over. I don't think I know any.
Yeah, great. He's a cool little dude.
There was a Dax that played for Creighton baseball a couple
Dax
years
Jones.
ago. Yeah. He hit some bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you know who Dax Jones is. You wouldn't count him as one of your friends, though. You may put half a finger up.
Just a half. No, it's I spent a lot of time with Alex Sindelar. You know him in Creighton baseball. So,
did you see A-Train this weekend?
No, I tried to golf with him. I don't. What was I doing? I tried to golf with him on Friday.
Oh, you know who's looking for a golf buddy this
Who?
week? Coach Sikora. You're not on our invite list of text. I mean, but he's like, "Hey, does anybody want to go golfing?" I was like, "Shoot, Ravi probably would."
Yeah, I'm trying to get out and get out a little bit more.
I would imagine you suck though.
Oh yeah, I'm not good.
Okay, yeah, that fits my mind.
So I used to play all the time when I was younger.
Shane, did I kick myself out?
Yeah, you did.
I believe so.
I used to play
Why are you always telling?
Because I'm just staring at it right now, and it went from both of us to just me, and I was like, oh snap. No, I used to play quite a bit, and I was okay. I'm all right with my short irons. I can't drive the ball at all.
Yeah,
my short game's pretty good though.
Well, I mean, considering your levers and your height,
yeah,
I imagine.
It's got some mobility issues on the backswing there.
I imagine.
But I used to play a bunch of par 3s, so I got a ton of practice on the short game.
That's something I could do.
I like the par 3s a lot because honestly, my biggest issue with golf is it's like, hey, I don't have 5 hours.
Yes, you do.
Not
what else
huge.
you do? What else you doing?
Other stuff.
Certainly not sleeping. Golly, man, I'm a mess. We're like over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been a bad week.
You probably need to sleep a little bit at some point.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Covers, no covers, dog, no dog. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough out here.
You don't rock like the melatonin or anything?
Nope.
Melatonin makes me dream funny. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I get weird dreams on that stuff.
I've had one dream in the last week, and it was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to this is like the Cliff Notes version, but Dom Rezak,
Mhm.
who I absolutely love, wanted to go work out.
Mhm.
So we like went to this makeshift gym. It reminded, like in my head, it reminded me of those. You're too young for this, I think. But Shane, what were the little wood things that you would put together, and they had the little grooves and slots, and you could connect them? They're like little wood tubes.
Oh,
Lincoln Logs.
yeah.
Yes.
No, I had Lincoln Logs.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. You're only 12. And it was it kind of reminded me of Lincoln Logs, but he's kind of a throwback with his toughness and stuff. So everything that we used to work out was like some MacGyver
You're like
2024 thing.
You're like Rocky in Russia.
Yeah, it seemed kind of weird. Yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what I was saying to him. You know, can you read? I don't think you can read in your dreams, because
I don't know.
there were specifics we were supposed to do. We were supposed to do in there.
Yeah.
And he kept telling me to read the signs. And I was just like,
You're like, I can't read.
no, that would have been funny. But I don't know why he was on the brain. He just was.
That's funny.
I wish I could control dreams. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Some people tell you can, but those people are weird. So
I don't really buy it.
I can't mess with those people.
I'm not really down with that.
And so I spent a lot of time. I was on TikTok quite a bit. I watched this is so bad. I watched like 6 shows, 20 minutes apiece. Is incredible. I'm like, you ever just been disappointed in yourself?
Yeah.
I put down the remote because the last one was the Fallout.
Mhm.
I'm like, this doesn't sound like what Ramon described on our show.
Yeah.
So then I went to get the charcoal hot and check the temp because it has valves and stuff. And I'm like, I came back in. I'm like, I don't have the attention span. Like, I think I need to focus. So then Caleb came upstairs because he's home for a couple of days, which is incredible because stuff just goes.
Mhm.
There were 4 adults there yesterday. 3. I went through 5, almost 6 steaks. I'm like, how are there no leftovers?
I smell like beef.
Yeah, so that was puzzling.
I think it might be your guy. That's
We went back
down there putting the work in.
We did a great exercise. We went back and looked at, because I wasn't a part of it, so this was great.
Mhm.
We went back and looked at the latest Super Six.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And there's 2 particular media members where he's like, those guys know what they're talking about.
This guy.
I'm not gonna say, because it'll also kind of let you know,
Yeah.
which freshmen are
Doing well. And yeah.
yeah. But it was funny because I read some, and he's like, yeah, that's not gonna be very good. Or
That's not gonna age well.
one particular guy, he goes, man, he's always trying to be different. Like, that's why nobody likes him. And I was like, whoa. You don't even talk like that.
I thought, whoa. No, but
And so
you know who does talk like that?
Oh, his coach.
Some of the people he's around right
Yeah.
now.
Very good point. Very good point. I said, hey, how's Coach Coop doing? He said, man, he needs some downtime.
Needs to relax a little bit.
I said, is that right? So it was just funny catching a rundown. Apparently they got whipped by their team nutritionist. And she just decided on a humbug she was going to go run stadium steps with them.
Oh no.
During her workout.
And smoked them?
They were they were blown away by the ease in which she just
by the fitness level.
could hang in there.
Dang.
I said, hey, don't be discouraged. I used to run those for fighting. It's not that big of a deal. You guys do it for fun. That's cute.
DB still got the stamina from it, from all those stairs he used to run.
He goes. And I hated to even get into it, but of course it begged the question, why'd you guys fight so much? I was like,
we didn't have the internet to keep us busy.
Yep. So we didn't have TikTok, buddy. We didn't have Fortnite.
I really do feel like it's a lot of it. We're just like sitting around. You get mad about stuff,
bro. Like, and plus now coaches are a lot better with like tempo, like,
Yeah.
you know, red, yellow, green, or thud, or, you know, wrap the contact or whatever.
Mhm.
Like our guys, just didn't appear to understand when to go hard, when not to, what.
When to go hard was pretty much always, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why so I blame our guys for barely going half rack, because apparently we didn't know how to practice. Yeah, we can't go half rack because you guys don't have any discipline. I was like, dang, can we try it again? Because I certainly don't want to be in full pads on a Monday. Is that cool? Or
it's like we'll be better, I promise. We can do it.
Yeah, there's just no question. I told him I kept it short too. I didn't get into details. I was like, testosterone.
Yeah.
And then it was like, look at how your dad is with his friends now. They can't hang up the phone without fighting. Like, do you think it was any better then? I was like, how the heck would you know? Yeah, so it was a decent weekend, man. How about you?
Not bad. The wife was out of town, so holding down the fort by myself and the dogs.
So what'd you do? Just like roll through a bunch of barrels on Friday? Like, did you fall
I really
asleep?
don't remember what I was doing on Friday.
Certainly not conversating.
I played tennis for a while.
Yeah, you said you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I got a couple days of tennis in over the weekend.
I thought I may see you. Don't take offense to this, but
you go to an Indian restaurant?
No. But the park across the street from me was like,
was it popping?
Yes.
See, I try not to go where it's busy.
Yes.
So I've got this is nobody cares, but I've got this little ball machine, and I'm a little.
It was pickleball though, not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't been playing a ton of pickleball lately, but because I've been trying to play tennis. But I have this little ball machine that like flips the ball to me, and I can practice.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm a little self-conscious about it.
What are you, 7?
Well, it's self-awareness here. I'm a little self-conscious about it because it's a little noisy. And I don't want to bother other people. And like I'm not.
Oh, that's nice. I need more neighbors like you.
I'm also like I'm still like working on it, right? I'm still like trying to get back into it. So
damn it,
I don't want people.
You got to do the tweet deck thing again.
Okay. I don't want people like judging me. So I kind of like to be isolated when I'm practicing.
You're like, God, I suck.
So if it's like, I'm okay, but I also know, I don't know if you know this, DB, I don't have like a traditional tennis player's build. So
you don't say.
The results are okay, but I'm still trying to like work into tennis shape, so it doesn't always look great.
Did you follow your teams at all? I'm still mad at soccer because the whole suspension thing and how Slovakia gave up a goal, making that 2 in about a 10-minute span
to England.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, England was like dead to rights, and then all of a sudden,
had you ever seen that much stoppage time?
There's been a lot in the Euros. I was watching
that too many people laying on the ground for no good god darn reason.
Which one was
Sorry,
I watching?
soccer aficionados.
No, I was trying which one I was watching yesterday. There was like 9 minutes.
Dude,
of stoppage time.
Take the over in the England match yesterday.
Just
it was incredible,
ridiculous.
I'm like, how many people are laying on the ground?
Yeah, it was. There's been like 8 or 9 minutes of stoppage time multiple times in the Euros. I'm just, what's happening? No, I was mostly just getting mad at NBA free agency.
Dude, how about the news dump though?
What, Paul George in the middle of the night?
So my favorite, and I didn't. Caleb called BS right away. The whole visiting the Clippers, Sixers, and Kings. I think the Kings made the cut. I was like,
Yeah, somebody like that. Somebody weird made the cut.
I'm like,
He's not going to the Kings.
he ain't going to the Kings.
No. And he's not going to the Clippers because they weren't going to give him the 4th year.
I just like all the bottom line reports during the day over the weekend, like sabotaging the fact that he was going to return to Los Angeles.
Yeah. He was not returning to Los Angeles.
Yeah. It's like
they weren't going to give him the 4th
year. They're like
year.
issuing statements from the organization about, well, we understand. We tried to meet his demands. I'm like,
no, you didn't. He wanted a 4th year. That's it. That was the demand.
Who opts out of 48.7?
A guy that's about to get $4,212.
Bro, I wouldn't opt out of a $7,000 contract, let alone $48,700,000.
See, that's you gotta know the market value though, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'll go back to doing radio from my garage then. Take that $7K.
I'm just saying, like, he's opting out of the 48.7, knowing that somebody's gonna give him 4 years at a max. So it's like he's really just opting. You gotta not think about opting out of $50 million. You gotta think of it opting into $150 million more.
Maybe the folks in the East are sick of hearing about the folks in the West, because now you have Boston, you have New York, you have Indiana, and you have Philadelphia.
Yeah, you've got a pretty nice little squad there.
Yes, you do.
And
yes, you do.
The West,
you're still going to need 45 wins.
Kind of. Well, and but at the top doesn't blow me away.
No, I understand. Although, I think Denver is way better
than they looked this year.
Yeah, because what Denver figured out is it's what every team that likes to repeat figures out. Your alpha has to dictate your work pace. And no disrespect to Jokic, but he doesn't strike me as the type of person that's like, hey, man, it's the offseason. People are going to be gunning for us. Let's get our ass in gear. Like he doesn't strike me as that type of person.
No, he's up playing with his horses.
And
which is fine.
Yeah, I like,
because he's going to get his work in.
I like the fact that people aren't afraid of horses. I'm terrified.
But he's not going to drag you along.
No.
Like, you probably need a different personality to kind of be like, okay, he might be your best player, but you sort of need a alpha personality somewhere else.
Yeah.
To drag everybody else up the mountain.
And that's the whole thing with Dynasty. So I think, or why they're so hard.
Oh, yeah.
But I was watching all the, like, where to slot Clay and, who's the guy that takes all the salary cap things and he puts them in different lineups.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't Sacramento he was going to visit. It was Orlando.
Yeah. No, who is that guy? Chris, what's his name? He used to be an exec. Bobby Marks?
No, Sean Marks?
Maybe. I don't know.
Marky Marks?
Coming up next, we might set up the show. Maybe. We'll see.
Dang it. Over. It's only day one.
It's we'll do better tomorrow. Maybe. That's DB. I'm Ravi with more Hurrdat Sports Radio coming up next.
I doubt it.
We will be back. 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 You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
We are back here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. It's a big sports day. It's a big sports day. We got a lot going on.
Yeah, if you want residual income.
I would say we got Bobby Bonilla Day, one of my favorite days of the year. We got Pac-12 is officially dead day.
Yes, indeed.
We've got opening day.
Although that's not anything to celebrate.
No, it's just a big day. It's busy. You know, there's a lot going on. It's got 3 new teams in the ACC today.
This is a big day.
I'd say it's a good day. Big and good aren't the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. I agree.
Can be lots of different stuff.
I agree with you.
Like if I weighed 400 pounds, I'd be like, not good. I'm big.
It's good. It's a good analogy. It's a good analogy.
Got NBA free agency happening in the middle of the night.
Yep.
A lot going on.
And I found if you missed the first hour, shame on you.
Just the first segment. We're still in the first hour.
Whatever, man. I'm still traumatized by my headsets falling on the ground.
It's all right. We got them. We got them back.
I picked them up, though.
I saw that.
I don't even know how they got there.
You dropped them.
Are you sure? Because they didn't make any noise.
Well, I think they like dangled. I don't think they hit the ground.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's outstanding.
What were you looking up over during the break?
I found the
Super Sixes?
I did.
What do we got?
No. I mean, to reset, I was shooting the breeze with Knucklehead at home, and for laughs and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I only did this, full disclosure, Shane. Number one, because I'm super shallow. But look, there's your guy. I went back and I was like, hey, you realize I didn't vote this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was not in the Super Six done by our fantastic friends over at 24/7 Sports. All I have in my head every time I think 24/7 Sports is Brunt saying, well, it's my company. Like that's how he said it.
I think I would know. It's my company.
Yeah, Bruntsy. How would you know that that's what Latif said?
Well, my company.
And so I went back and I was reading him all the media's Super Six.
Mhm.
Do you remember what the consensus was?
I mean, I got to go Rayola.
Rayola was one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. This is newcomers, not freshmen, right?
So this is weird. I won't say never.
You almost always do freshmen.
Yeah, because I don't know if I ever see. Remember, I'm the guy that infamously didn't put Jeff Sims in my Super Six.
Yep, which that aged okay.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of popular people I don't put.
Yeah.
I didn't put Carter Nelson, and I didn't put Malachi Coleman, and I only did the Meg Shift Super 6
on air with me and Andrew, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I kind of did it on the fly.
Yeah, we sort of put you on the spot there.
Yeah, weird, man, Cam Newton. Except I can't wear Cam's hats.
No, I don't think Cam should wear Cam's hats.
Yeah, you see, Cam got the truth out of Shannon Sharp, though.
Yeah.
Are you over that?
Yeah.
Just too many brothers
talking. Just the whole thing.
Are you? I love when you're fed up. It's an old R. Kelly song.
We can listen to R. Kelly again. Did you hear that?
I'm not going to probably do that.
No. So all of the royalties are going to his victims now because he owes them so much money.
Yeah.
So now you're helping out the victims if you listen to R. Kelly.
I know. Still a little cringe.
That's fine. I'm saying, like, morally, you're on better ground than you were before.
So all it's going to make me think of is playing pool in Clinton's basement when we were in high school.
Yeah?
Yep. He had a pool table down there.
Big R. Kelly guy?
We just played music.
Yeah, and there was a lot of R. Kelly on at the time.
And listen, save the jokes, especially because there's not one of those you'd actually say to his face. But a couple high school guys down there listening to R&B like I'm not here for it.
Clinton is terrifying looking.
Oh, yeah.
He's also, did I tell you my Clinton Child story?
This ought to be good.
So I think I might have told you this. So I was at, my mom surprised me. She took me to Millard West because
surprise.
They were doing, like, I guess the outgoing.
Oh, the signing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I remember
at the basketball game. They like had this, like, the graduating seniors from the football team would like put on exhibition basketball games. And so my mom surprised me and took me, and like,
she's such a nice person.
She even brought, and I didn't know this, but she had, I don't know if she bought it for this specifically or if I already had it and she brought it, but my Husker poster, the one I sent you a picture of. And so we're going, I get everybody's autograph, but
Which, by the way, if you don't want that stuff, like, just give it to me.
Okay. I mean, I do want it, but
because I get chastised all the time for not
having enough stuff.
Yeah, but I do.
Yeah.
I just don't pull it out.
Yeah. I've got lots. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff. You saw some of the stuff I was sending you.
I saw the picture of you as a little kid. That was the thing I couldn't get my mind around.
Which one?
You were with the rest of the family and you were holding up. I don't know if you were like along it wasn't a beach, but you guys were outside.
Yeah.
It wasn't in front of the house. There's nothing in the background. And you have like the little, it's not like a comb over, but.
Which one was it?
I don't know. Your mom's there. There's probably 5 for you in the picture. I'm going off my memory recall.
Yeah.
My memory recall.
I don't remember which one I sent you of that.
It's raining already, man.
Yeah, we might have a little flooding going on.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, so Clinton like bounced he like bounced pretty quick, and so I missed him, and I was very upset about it. And so my mom like talked to the security guard or whatever who was like standing by the locker room, and she's like, "Hey, like, is there any chance?" Blah blah. I think she gave him the diabetic sob story, which I appreciate when I get to use it to my advantage because most of the time it just kicks my butt. So
that's tough.
Listen, I feel like
I saw firsthand during a CWS show.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Like, it takes enough, so like every once in a while I'm gonna get something back.
Did I tell you? I was talking to my mother-in-law about that, and she just could not get her mind around all those carbs.
Yeah.
Like, she's like thought about it. I was asking her to kind of give me like the equivalent. She's just, it was a big number.
Yeah. I don't even know.
And it just wouldn't elevate.
Yeah. I can't even like put it into normal people food perspective. Like, hey, if you ate this much of that, then it would equal. Like, I don't even have a reference for it. It was so much food.
Yeah. I just know, and you get into like 250s and 260s, and it's just carbs.
Yeah.
It makes me want to throw up, and I'm not eating it.
Yeah. That's that's usually twice what I eat in a day for carbs. I don't eat that many carbs.
Let alone in 2 hours.
Yeah. It was awful.
Okay.
But, yeah, so we went and got, so my mom like sweet talked the security guard, and it's like, man, he's diabetic. He's one of his favorite players. Like, can you help me out a little? So we like went back in and like talked to Clinton. He's like, hey, I got this kid out here. And I don't know, he probably thought I was like dying or something, but he was like, hey, can he come in? And so I brought my poster in, and Clinton.
I probably couldn't get him to come say hello to you, but ask Vers.
Yeah.
Vers can.
He, I also remember very specifically, he was wearing I don't know what's going on with that hair. He was wearing a Notre Dame jacket. And I was like, that's weird.
If there's a beat and a drum and there's one to march to, it is his home.
But he's still scary looking. He's got kind of that, he's got like the bearded Lovie Smith look a little bit.
One of those guys, too. You know, I always tell you tough people don't talk a ton.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You got about 3 words.
My favorite.
Maybe 9.
My favorite verse story all time is a Clinton Child story.
Oh, bailing him out in North Omaha?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's true, by the way.
That's incredible.
That's 100% true.
It's my favorite. Is, hey, you ever get in some place you're not supposed to be, drop my name. Unbelievable.
So
unbelievable.
So like I'm notorious for, and sometimes it's because, with going back to the Super Six, sometimes it's because it's not that I know too much. It's just that I look for things that other people may not, or they may not even be privy to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like personalities or whatever. Because when I think staying power in tough college football, especially if your team isn't winning,
the temperament's a big issue.
It's probably number one.
Yeah,
how I think you go to work and handle conflict.
Are you going to endure?
It's probably number one for me. So
the consensus was Raiola
was 1.
I bet Jamal Banks was on there.
Carter Nelson was 2. Who was 3?
Well, Carter, that's high for Carter Nelson. 3.
Logan Magnolia.
Bricks?
Correct.
That's too high for a freshman offensive lineman.
Do you know who? Our buddy is from Logan.
Which one?
Kevin.
Kev?
Not Kev.
Uncle Kev?
No. He told me last week he's like down to like 212.
Really? Nice.
Well, he's you talk about a guy that fights cancer.
Yeah.
Bad up the throat twice.
Oh, dang.
So he just says he's not eating the same.
Yeah, sure.
He said his weight, and I was like, really? Because he's tall.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bricks was 3. Who was 4?
4.
Thank my household.
Caleb.
4. Who was 5?
There's got to be Banks has got to be on here somewhere.
The de facto conference guy that came over. They no longer exist. Pac-12.
The de facto.
Dowdell.
Oh, duh.
And then the big lineman that you lament over from Florida. What's his name?
The big lineman?
Mazuka. Yeah, you're on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
That's the composite.
That's not even close to what I would have.
We'll get to the rest after this.
Phil Steele's going to be on the show today. That set up the show.
We will be back. We will be back. We will be back. We will be back. You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
Wrapping up hour number 1 here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. Coming up on the show today, we've got Phil Steele, author of the most famous college football preview magazine in the world. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, the world is correct.
Yeah. So we'll talk to him at 9 a.m. and then at 9.
Now, granted, North America makes up
the vast majority of
people that would consume that content.
Our podcast is very big in Hong Kong.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We might be the best.
Maybe that's why I get these. Like, can you read this message? Like, what does who's writing is that in that?
I don't want to make an assumption here. It looks to be Southeast Asian of some persuasion.
Yeah, I get about 3 of those a week.
That might be our Hong Kong audience checking in.
Yeah.
We do have weirdly good Hong Kong numbers.
It's awesome.
I'm not making that up. It's a real thing. I don't know why.
I can tell by your delivery.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty dry most of the time. So we also have Brianna Holman of the Omaha Supernovas now, former Husker. She just signed with the Supernovas. We'll talk to her at 9:30. We were talking about the Super Sixes.
We were talking about the Super Six.
And I was on the struggle bus trying to figure out who played for Nebraska this year.
Yeah.
I was just brain farting all over the place. I don't know what was going on there.
Such an ugly word.
What, fart?
Yes.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like that word either.
It's crass.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
What?
Although I do watch this old man on TikTok.
Brain toot? Is that better?
Let's not get into the word I use. I remember one time I said tinkle over the airwaves, and I had to hear about it for a year.
What word do you use for passing gas?
It's fine. Just move on.
I gotta know now.
It's toxic masculinity at its finest.
Listen, I'm over here drinking seltzers. I'm as non-toxic masculinity as it gets.
Team Indian Claw.
That ain't wet. That's not a thing. Indian Claw?
White Claw. My bad. Whoops.
Little Freudian slip there, bud.
There's no failure in sports.
All right, my bad.
Super Six. What's up with the Super Six?
Should we just go through a few for fun?
I think so. Let's just for funsies.
Okay, so I told you the consensus. This is great, by the way. 24/7 Sports. They do it every year. So
can I just say, like, whoever before we get into this any further,
are you mad?
I just don't get it. Like, if you don't have Dylan Raiola 1, you're just doing too much. Like, what are we doing? I know you're trying to be the smartest guy in the room and whatever. Dylan Royola's won. I don't know what else to tell you, bud.
Why are you acting like that?
Like what?
All right.
Like what? I mean, am I wrong? What are we doing?
No. Do you want to get to Cody? Because this is very interesting.
Cody's thing?
No. The list. I don't want to steal his thunder.
Okay, let's get to Cody real quick. And
You know Shane can't spell too, so that's the funny thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that word was before he said that, but
Ozempic.
We've got Cody here on the Hurrdat Hotline.
Ozempic.
What's up, Cody? Like Sky Rizzy.
Good morning. I already texted Damon first thing. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day, gentlemen.
Yes.
We love it. We love to see it.
Stay paid. Stay paid. Stay petty.
Hey, I just want to talk a little MLB and a little Olympics real quick.
Okay.
Damon,
Why you want to swim in dirty water?
What's that?
You want to swim in dirty water?
Yeah, the Seine is not clean.
Dude, what are they doing?
Build a pool, bud. That's all
Why
you
are
need
the
to
Dodgers just poaching every good player?
Listen, until the Dodgers win another title, Cody, I am not here for your Dodger bashing, okay? Like, we are the consummate underachievers at this point. I said,
going after Bo Bichette now?
I said they already got one of their cast-offs in Biggio, who's like.
You were not a fan of that
if
move?
they get Garrett Crochet, how much pitching do you need?
Well, it depends on who comes back. I don't know if you've seen Walker Buehler throw batting practice lately, but some of the best of Major League Baseball has.
Buehler.
Yeah,
and Kershaw. Kershaw had a setback.
Yeah, I don't know if Kershaw's.
Domo Morigato, Misto Robato is on the IL. Like, what do you mean? You can't ever have enough pitching, Commander Cody.
I don't know if Kershaw's going to be helpful this year.
Hey, and then
wash your mouth out, young man.
The Royals, finally, I was starting to, here's their downfall, and then they take 3 out of 4 from the Indians.
Yeah, so apparently runs were at a premium in that series, which is fine unless you're a Guardians fan. But I just think
Kwan is actually human. We found out this weekend.
I just think, how about him? Not his inability to nut up when what is it, first and second, in the ninth, and he had to go to his
25% of his strikeouts this season came in the last 4 days.
Yeah, and he didn't look good doing it. But so shout out to the Royals bully, who apparently I just think those guys are. That's just a good bit. They're good. Like that Central isn't near as horrible as as I think.
And then I'll end with this because I know you're getting to your Super Six. Sidney McLaughlin's not human.
So did you see the? Well, I guess not on par with anybody else.
She could have hit another gear if she would have been pushed.
Yeah. So that's the thing. When you don't see anybody else in the screen, when you don't see anybody else in the screen, it's like kind of like Ledecky in the pool, right? It's like she swim by herself.
Those TikToks where she touches the wall and then you're just waiting
for the next
30 seconds just for anyone else to show up in the screen.
Cody, if you could win gold, would you get in that water?
No.
If you told me hey, you get a gold medal, but you got to swim in the water, I'll swim in the water.
Isn't it illegal?
Yeah, you're not supposed to dive in there because it's not healthy.
Yeah, there's fecal matter.
No, it's poop. Yeah, it's poop water.
I mean, they're literally I'm going to go swim 10,000 meters. You tell me you're not peeing at least 2 or 3 times during that time.
Okay. Oh, right.
Well, and also
it's flickering.
Also,
just got to stay on.
I do it once in an 8-hour nocturnal rest.
It's not the swimmer's poop. It's all of France's poop in that river.
Don't put that crap on me.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, they were putting that crap on them.
Hey, Cody, do you know who has the best record in baseball?
Well, it was the Guardians.
It is not
the Phillies.
That is correct.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Phillies have the best record in baseball.
Cody, do you have a preferred term for passing gas?
No, I just like to use the poop emoji.
Fair enough. We're trying to figure out what DB's passing gas word is.
I'm going to end this on this because I was going to end on Sidney McLaughlin, but I want to end on Piper Zadika because she put Nebraska on the map this weekend.
And she looks fantastic. Like she's a stud. She's probably one of my favorite people to walk those hallways at school at Westside. She's just she's just a good person, and she works her ass off. She is
The thing about her too is she, as good as she is on the mat, she's an even better human.
Listen, Cody, she's amazing, and she doesn't even realize it. And I appreciate the call.
No.
She's one of those people.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Cody. She's one of those people that could be in the hallway.
Yeah.
And people are just drawn to her, and she just goes on about her business. She is an amazing student athlete.
Speaking of amazing student athletes, Quincy Wilson, the 16-year-old, got selected for the 4x4 team. So he is going to be at the Olympics after coming up just shy in the qualifiers.
I can't understand.
He's 16 years old.
Oh, I understand.
You know how fast he's going to be in 2028?
Yeah, when he's actually like strong and has
when
muscles.
he's finished going through puberty, basically.
Yeah, I just favorited a tweet from Piper.
Yeah.
She's out at the beach wrestling. And I'm just she has I call her the Pied Piper, no pun intended, but people do gravitate towards her. Their wrestling team is going to be fantastic.
Her and like Rob kind of promoting her over the last few years is like I knew girls at the time, now women's, because she was in high school when I first started noticing. Like I knew it existed. I didn't realize how big of a deal it was or was becoming until I started following along with Piper and Rob and kind of her whole journey. So that's been super cool to sort of watch from afar.
She was supporting the rest of the sports, which is kind of what she does. And she was at this basketball game, and I ran into her mom, and I was like, I just want to tell you, first of all, I apologize for your husband, but second of all, like as a parent, that that you've done, when you look at how she acts and how she carries herself, I'm like, you've done okay as a parent, even if you feel like you didn't get anything else right.
Yeah,
like she is. And I said, I know this is gonna sound weird. It's 9:00 at night after a basketball game, but I had to get that off my chest because I just watch her. She has like charisma without even
without like trying. That's because, man, and this is a big pet peeve of mine, but like people that try too hard, and I can't stand those people.
Yeah. Well, I remember when she was playing freshman football.
Yeah.
And we watched her all summer. And everybody else wanted to make a big deal about it except her.
Yeah.
She never said one word about being a female.
Just wanted to play football.
No, she just balled.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I think this is going to work.
Respect that.
Yeah. Low maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super. So good on Cody for seeing that. Of course, it's wrestling. So
yeah, no, he's big wrestling guy.
Yeah. But how do you want to do it?
Let's wait till the next segment because we're about out of time here. And I do want to give this a little space.
45 seconds for Shane. That's an eternity.
Well, listen, it's longer than it seems sometimes. You know, just especially when it's raining out here like this.
Hey, I should probably know this. Do we have satellite? This is satellite?
This is all DirecTV.
Oh, because the screen it pixeled. So
yeah,
like,
we might have some issues here, but don't worry, I've got some like backup. I'll watch my tennis on, so in case we gotta.
That's cute.
Bring my phone on, you know.
Yeah.
I don't love this guy's hair though. That Alcaraz is playing.
Yeah,
kind of freaking me out. He kind of looks like a cartoon character.
I just don't like that the camera keeps giving it run.
Yeah, let's just stay with the wide shot of the Alcaraz opponent this morning. That's our number one. Coming up next, we're going to dive into some Super Sixes here on Hurrdat Sports Radio.
We will be back. We will be back. will be back. We will be back. Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
Kicking off hour number 2 here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here on the Pillar Exterior stage. What's up, DB?
Oh, I'm just trying to I'm like Kevin Gates. Hello?
You look like Gordon Gecko. You got the...
I got 2 phones. One's inflatable. One's for the table. I got 2.
I don't know what's happening.
Dude, look at this phone.
That's a big phone.
Shane, what would you do with a phone this size? This is like the
I'd use it for
Night on the Roxbury dudes.
I'd use it for a step stool.
You probably could if it wasn't inflatable.
Yeah.
I know you're used to handling these things, but you'd probably burst this one.
You could use it like a pillow.
Look at that thing.
Look at him.
That thing wet.
Let's do an exercise.
Okay, I like to exercise.
Okay. This is on the heels of before we get ready to talk to the great Phil Steele. We'll have a little Supernovas talk here later as we welcome you back live to the Pillar Exterior studio with my main man L3 and the little dude over there, Liquid Shano, who is extremely weird. Did you see? Was there not a weird fixation with this thing?
Yeah,
he was like captivated.
He was.
Simmer down over there, little dude. I have no idea.
Gotta watch out for Donna Summers.
If you could redo the Super Six today, to this day, because do you want the consensus again?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I think you know who my number one's going to be after my little rant there.
He said you were doing too much if it's not Rayola.
Yeah, so Rayola is my one.
Okay.
I still think I'm going to keep Jamal Banks at 2. I think he's going to be really important.
Okay.
I think this is going to skew receiver heavy for me.
Skew? Is it going to skew a
skew?
Okay.
So I'm going to drop Mazuka and Dowdell.
Okay.
From mine.
Okay.
I still got Caleb in there.
Okay.
So I'm going to bump him up to 3.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do... I might be reading too much into some of the comments, but I'm going to do Vincent Shavers at 4.
Okay.
because he got a lot of good run in the spring, and I feel like I kind of liked him anyway. So I'm going to go Vincent Shavers at 4. At 5, I'm going to go Nair.
As I did a quick scan,
mm-hmm.
I think only one person had Nair in there.
Yeah. After spring, I think I've got to put Nair in there.
Who was that?
And then I'm still going to put Barney in there as well.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
So I told you it's going to be wide receiver heavy, and I feel okay about that because I do think that's maybe the most improved outside of theoretically quarterback. I do think that's the most improved spot on the team. And then my sleeper, I'm going to go Carter Nelson as my sleeper. I think they want to try and find some interesting ways to use him.
Yeah, you've been listening to Sipple again, huh?
I thought this before Sipple was talking about it.
It was Luke Mullen from the Journal-Star.
Oh, interesting.
He's the only one that I found that put Nair in his Super Six.
Yeah, so I would put Nair in now, and then I would put Carter
sleeper.
As
sleeper. But technically, according to Sleeper,
mm-hmm.
it can't be Carter Nelson. He's the highest rated in the class.
So
I am not going to allow you to do that, right?
I mean, Dylan's the highest rated in the class.
Is it? Out of the state, I mean.
Oh, out of the state, yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's hard for a 4.5 star to be a sleeper.
Yeah, okay, fair. If I can't use Carter, that makes it a little more difficult. I guess I was also playing with Bly Hill. I think he's going to be healthy, and I think he's going to play. I think he's going to end up being healthy enough. I think he's going to play a lot.
Somebody had him. Was that Brunsey?
Andrew, I think you said had.
Yeah, and Andrew had Bly Hill as a sleeper. So shout out to A-Rod.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is apparently living his best life. I don't know how current his TikToks are. my dude is like
getting after it,
chilling on his honeymoon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's a squirrel. He's like totally living his best life.
Oh yeah.
Was it Brunsey?
I think I'm gonna go Bly Hill.
So okay. So I'm gonna shout out Bruns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shout out. This sucks. Connor Happer. I love him. I'm gonna shout out Kevin Suits.
Our guy Suits.
And there's one more that I'm missing. Why do you think let's take Suits.
Mm-hmm.
Suits' Super Six was.
I could also consider Buford as the sleeper. That would be my other one.
He was on my list.
That would be my other one.
Okay. This is Kevin Suits.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Raiola.
Okay.
Grant Bricks.
Okay.
Carter Nelson. Keelan Smith. Caleb Benning. Vincent Shavers. His sleeper was Camden Cook. Why would I shout out Kevin Suits?
I don't know.
Vincent Shavers Jr.
Oh, okay.
Let me give you one Connor Happer. Why would I shout out Connor Happer? Dylan Raiola, Ja'Cory Barney, Preston Tamau, Mike Mazuka, Jamal Banks, Caleb Benning, Mario Buford. Why would I shout out Connor Happer?
Talmua.
Correct.
I do feel like everyone forgets he was in this class.
Why else would I shout out Connor Happer?
And he's like the second highest rated offensive lineman in this class.
Why else would I shout out?
Read him again.
Raiola.
Yeah.
Barney Jr.
Barney.
Preston. Correct.
Yeah.
His sleeper, Mario Buford.
Also Mario Buford.
Yes.
Yeah.
That appears to be a very outstanding list. One, Jonathan Bishop. Why would I shout out JB? Raiola.
Because he's got the best Creighton homer calls in the biz.
I love Baylor Sherman. I love Sherman.
Dylan Raiola.
Okay.
Preston. Benning. McGahee. Bricks. Nelson. Peter. Why would I shout out John Bishop?
McGahee?
Incorrect.
Peters.
Incorrect. You said it already.
Tamu?
Correct.
Oh, I thought we were doing different people every time.
No. There's one more that we agreed that we liked.
Okay.
This is kind of weird. Whose list is this?
Okay.
Because we don't really give him credit for understanding what he's looking at.
Okay.
We give him credit because he works extremely hard. And this is not his real thing.
Okay.
Okay. Those are the clues.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola, Graham Bricks, Gradney, Preston, Caleb, and Barney.
Who's a sleeper?
Ashton Murphy.
Not his real beat.
It is, but it isn't.
I need one more clue. Give me another clue.
Sometimes people give him a hard time because he's very he's very hard line. There isn't a lot of give and take with him.
Well, I was gonna say wash it.
Nope. I don't know if he's on here.
It's from a rival site, so probably not.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that.
I would guess that the other recruiting sites aren't included.
Okay.
That'd be my guess. Not really his main deal.
Certainly not his favorite sport.
So we're talking a baseball guy?
We're talking certainly not his favorite sport.
BC?
It would be Mike Sauter.
Oh.
It's a pretty good list.
Yeah, that's a good list.
That's a pretty good list. And Caleb was like, I knew I liked that guy. And I was like, no, we don't. No, we're not. So I think it's interesting to go back and read, especially anytime you can get and nobody, I don't think, somebody can double check for me. Nobody had Shavers, Preston, and Barney, I think, in their top 6.
Yeah.
The closest.
You had one that had Shavers, Preston. I think Happer had Shavers, Preston, and Buford.
He really liked Happer's list.
I have a hard time putting true freshman offensive linemen on the list.
It's hard, isn't it?
Because they're not going to contribute this year.
And by the way, they just got another one to commit. How about that? Hyphenated last name.
With our guy, Houston Kaahena.
I kind of like that.
I think it's Kaahena.
He'll be one of those guys that have the little ear next to it on the roster.
Yeah, it'll tell you how to pronounce it.
Correct.
Yeah. Looking at it, I think it's Kaahena Torres, but I don't know.
Yeah, you also said Verghese.
Verghese. I'm like in Inglourious Bastards.
Never seen it.
It's a great movie. Weirdly funny.
You should effort that.
Weirdly funny.
I don't even know if I would understand it.
Gorlami. You're not gonna get that joke.
Okay, then stop saying it. So maybe the line play is not exactly falling because you still have 2 tackles on the hook too. I still think they're only going to take 4.
I think the exaggeration over how dramatic the situation was overblown. I mean, obviously Tapu flipping helps a lot. But Houston was a big get. And again, 18 guys that are true sophomores or younger.
Yeah.
There is a ton of guys in those rooms. We mentioned, Preston Taumua, that's a 4-star offensive lineman from last year.
It is amazing how many lists he was left off.
Grant Bricks.
Did we just forget?
4-star offensive lineman from last year. Well, I didn't put any offensive linemen on.
I do kind of.
Besides Mazuka, and then I dropped him off.
I low-key like Schaefer's list too, but if I had to pick one 24/7 sports guy, I'm riding with Brunsey.
Yeah. I mean, you've got 2 4-stars from last year's class and offensive line that you're bringing in already, not to mention some of the other guys that people really like that are not as highly regarded nationally.
You want me to give you Brunsey's again?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't say him out loud, but this is one of the guys. This is one of the guys that
I also like. Am I nuts? Or I think Ruggiero is going to be really good.
Hey, I can't. He's gonna.
I think he's gonna be really good.
I would love to talk about him over a ginger ale.
Like, I think he's gonna be really good.
It's fascinating person.
Really?
Oh, fascinating.
Like, I have this. I feel like nobody talks about him.
I would look. You know my personality.
Yeah.
You know the things that I like.
Yeah. That you gravitate towards.
Yeah, not this. Now, don't let me fool you. Not necessarily like sharks and work hard and not the toughness, not that. My interest in terms of what I gravitate towards for my for like television or things that interest me or think that.
Okay.
That is Rougeroli.
I think he's gonna be really good.
He is captivating. I would love to.
Got a great frame.
I would love to spend just 6-8 hours. And I know Ingerson's probably listening. Like, no, you don't. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Mike. Yes, I do. Eric had to take him to the airport.
Yeah,
to go back home. Yeah, I would love to just spend the day with him. I think
I'm fascinated.
Me
by
too.
him.
Me too. Kind of like James. There's just guys that I want to be around. I want to be around Shavers.
Also, I there's something about like, hey, I don't care about what I'm labeled as. Like, this is where I want to be, and like having the confidence in yourself to be like, yeah, it doesn't matter what you call me.
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you call me a walk-on. Doesn't matter what you like.
I'm good.
I'm
gonna read you Bruncey's list.
Yeah,
Rayola, Barney Jr., McGahee, Nelson, Buford, Benning, Sleeper, Shavers.
That's a good list.
That's a good list.
I know, Mike.
I don't like to give you credit, but
I don't
know if I could trust a guy that doesn't.
Mike.
I don't know if I could trust a guy that doesn't eat meat.
I've never heard anybody call him Mike before.
I don't.
Mike Bruntz?
I don't call him Mike normally.
I don't really know what to do with McGahee.
No, that's fair.
I don't know what to do with him.
That's fair.
I think he could be good. I don't
plays a deep spot too.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with him year one.
So you may have time.
Yeah, I think maybe he's not a late bloomer, but like kind of a slow burn.
Man, this is just productivity over time too.
Yeah. So I generally gravitate more towards like this upcoming year. Since we do one every year, I generally don't try and take like a 3 or 4 year snapshot. And so that's why I leave out all the offensive linemen. If you're a true freshman offensive lineman, I don't expect you to contribute, which is generally true.
Yeah. I think with these, you play the long game for impact.
Sure. I just mean, yeah.
Over the course of their career.
For the way I like to put the list together, I like to do the basically 1 year snapshot, and they don't really give you criteria, so you can kind of do whatever you want. So some of the lists end up a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I don't think the sky is falling with the offensive line recruiting.
Yeah.
We can take a breath.
My man Magnum TA is out there listening. Shout out to I love him.
Trev Alberts?
Yeah. And why is he up? See, that's the thing with these guys. It's Tristan Albano.
Yeah.
That's the thing with these guys.
Yeah.
They can't sleep in now.
Yeah. They're like my dog Doug.
Bro, I have never seen Caleb before 8 on a weekend. It's incredible.
Now it's like 6 o'clock. He's like, "What's up, Dad?"
Well, fudge. Tristan's probably on his way to go kick some balls somewhere. I'm glad it's wet so he can't be outside somewhere.
Well, he's gotta get practice in the elements. Let's go,
man. Who ordered it? I'm telling you, this is a real dude. We'll get him in.
Yeah, we'll talk to Tristan.
You can talk to him about anything.
Yeah,
like he's just insightful.
Yeah. I've talked to him in passing. He was on the sideline a couple times at your games this year.
So at basketball at State,
yeah,
I missed 3/4 of the game because I was just talking to him. Dead serious. Dead dog serious.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
is extremely likable.
He seems like it.
Great.
He seems like a good dude. Better than the other TA.
TA.
Trevor.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why you hate that. We're gonna have to get over that.
I don't have to.
And his job is extreme. You read some of the recent stuff.
Yeah. Do you see what Schlossnagel like trying to point the gun at him?
Oh yeah.
That's a tough look.
And
yeah,
the fans are just chomping at the bit to look for a scapegoat.
Yeah, 100%. Because it couldn't possibly be them. It couldn't possibly be Schlossnagel.
And you read Kendall Rogers' report too.
Mm-hmm.
He shot his shot with Vitello.
Yep.
Wouldn't have that been something?
Unbelievable.
What would you have to pay Tony Vitello to leave Tennessee to come to?
Coming off a national title?
Yeah.
3?
Although coming off the national title would make it a lot more. Do I want to say
palatable?
Okay,
that's what you're looking
I
for.
almost said palpable.
No, that's like you can like.
Yeah,
it's like tangible.
Yeah.
Palatable is like it's easier to like get down the gullet. Yeah.
Gullet. See, stop, knock it off.
What?
At least you didn't say Palpatine.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we know.
Here, man. You want your blow-up phone, Shane?
We know.
Call one of your homies.
We know DB's a big Star Wars guy.
I did see the preview for Lord Vader, though. Is that real, or was that a TikTok thing?
I think that's a TikTok thing, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
I fell for it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think so.
That sucks.
Guys.
Damn,
TikTok. We have breaking news here.
That sounded really.
I'm so
fourth grade.
I'm so excited.
Wait, just reenact that again.
Guys.
It gives me the creeps.
We have breaking news here.
Lego has new building blocks.
Creed is coming to Omaha. Well, Council Bluffs, technically. They will be at Stir Concert Cove, July 20th. I don't have to drive to Monticello, Iowa now to go see him.
Wait, where?
Monticello, Iowa.
The place where Thomas Jefferson used to live?
No, that's Virginia. Probably named after it, though.
Are you sure it's cello?
Yeah,
Monticello?
Monticello. I mean, listen, they might say it wrong in Iowa, but it's pronounced Monticello.
Of course, it would be on everybody else.
Yeah, it's when a word is written that way, it's pronounced Monticello. I don't know what to tell you. Like Norfolk is pronounced Norfolk, not Norfolk. I don't know what to tell you. Like at one point, I get where the word comes from. I do. North Fork, I get it. But at some point, y'all decided to start spelling it wrong. And now the name of your town is different.
The weird tangent rants are hilarious.
I'm just saying, there is no R in folk.
We buried the lead, though. Lord Vader, that's not real.
No, they've been floating that trailer off and on for a while now, and it's disappointing because it looks incredible.
Would you stop?
It looks incredible.
I'm kind of disappointed, and I'm not even a Star Wars person.
At I
need to call somebody.
The sale, the tickets go on sale on an hour or a day, an hour and 40 minutes. So as soon as the show's over tomorrow, I'm going to be getting my tickets.
You know, this is my Degeneration X moment.
Yeah.
You better call somebody.
I can't tell you how excited I am. I've been trying to figure out.
That's the strangest thing I've heard this morning.
I've been trying to figure out for like 3 months which show I'm going to be able to go to because they weren't coming close
Did you
enough.
know Teddy Swims is coming?
I don't care about Teddy Swims.
It's exciting.
His voice is incredible. I like him on my TikTok because he like does I see some of the music TikTok stuff, but I'm not going to go see him in concert.
Yeah, shout out Creed, but boo Teddy Swims.
I'm not booing.
That's
Teddy
one.
Swims.
That's one of like that is so typical L3.
I'm not booing Teddy Sims. I just don't care about him. There's a lot of stuff I don't care about that's still good.
Going back to talking to Tristan. What's up, buddy? How we doing this morning?
I mean,
I'm just kidding. You better call
Jim Schlossnagel's trying to get TA in trouble.
You were so happy with that. You like.
I actually wasn't because I don't like Jim Schlossnagel either, so I'm kind of in a tough spot here.
Right, it's kind of ick.
I'm not rooting for anybody in this situation.
Well, that's good to know.
But yeah, I think you'd have how much you would have to pay Tony Vitello like $3 million a year to come to Texas A&M.
Probably too much for a baseball coach.
Maybe, who knows?
It's gonna be interesting. Hey, did you buried the lead for your Seminoles, man? How happy were you about Chase Lofton?
That's fine.
Oh, geez. Guys.
That's fine.
We got breaking news over Scott Stapp and Creed. But
see, you know who the lead singer is. You know.
I used to like Creed when I was 10.
Listen, they weren't around when you were 10.
Okay.
They were around
17.
when I was 10.
17 or 18, maybe. I don't know, but like, do you know I was like 38 when I realized Arms Wide Open was about having a kid? I thought it was about like.
Yeah, it was about when he had his first child.
You don't say. Isn't that what I just said?
Yeah. Well, I added the first part. Give
with arms wide open.
With arms wide open. Thank you, Sauter.
My favorite is
that in context.
When I used to, when I was like closet crazy, I always used to gravitate.
Now you're just crazy out in the open.
100%. Yeah, I mean that's about right. Thank you for your support. Wow.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Wow. Dude, the baggery is at an all-time high. It is incredible how it just rolls off your tongue.
Yeah, I can't help myself.
Clearly. Clearly. Anyway,
No problem at all. Go Big Red.
Yeah, whatever.
So you used to be crazy in secret?
Yeah.
And now what?
It's out in the open. No, arms wide, or my own prison was like my jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you told me that before, that you're like an old school Creed guy.
Yeah. None of that new age stuff.
Listen, just because you don't appreciate good music, that's fine.
I'm like the road dog Jesse James.
I
need to call somebody.
I don't even recognize what we're doing.
You're canceled. Don't we do that still in 2024?
What am I getting canceled for?
Being a Richard. Can I say that? Sorry.
Richard.
You can't say Richard.
Shane just cringes.
You can't say leakage on air. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. We will continue with more of Hurrdat Sports Radio coming up next.
Maybe.
We will be back. We will be back. We will be back.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Intercontinental champion, the rope.
We will be back. We will be back. We will be back. You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
I'm going to call all my friends and tell them we're going to Creed.
Hello?
On July 20th. Let's go. Can't wait. I bet they'll play some old school for us in my own prison. They'll probably rock that.
For who?
For you.
I'm not going.
Oh, yeah, you're coming.
That's a lie.
I mean, giant crowd of people, that's your jam, right?
Bro, if I'm not going to Teddy Swims, I'm not going.
Oh, you didn't know?
I just can't even imagine you at a concert. I feel like you'd be so uncomfortable.
I would.
That's
I
like,
thought last concert I saw was at Bellevue Christian Center.
Yeah?
Yep. Do you know who it was?
Kirk Franklin.
Why? Because I'm black?
Yep.
Jeez, man.
100%.
Your ass better call.
You are incredible. Wow.
No, because you said Bellevue Christian Center, something of religious
Does Kirk,
music.
okay, that's fine. But does
And
Kirk,
then-
you just think Kirk's rolling up over the old
I don't know.
BCC?
And then I know, like, sometimes you, like, come in, you're, like, singing your little bebops, and, like, you're like, Jesus
why, 'cause he's
loves
black?
me,
100.
this I know. I thought, you come up singing that every once in a while. And so I was like, okay, who do I know that is kind of going a little gospel-y that maybe would be in DB's wheelhouse?
Oh, you didn't know?
You're incredible.
Maybe I was doing a little bit of a black thing there. Maybe.
Just incredible.
It's hard to say. I don't see you at like a Michael W. Smith concert.
No.
With Stephen Curtis Chapman?
Nope.
Amy Grant?
No.
Okay, yeah. So that's why I went with Kirk Franklin.
Give me another off the wall. I might give you a yeah.
I'm trying to think here. Third Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I used to get Third Day, and who's the other people that I went to see before wrestling a couple years ago? Casting Crowns.
Okay, yeah.
Get them a little.
Third Day was like original Casting Crowns.
Yeah.
They're like the OG Casting Crowns.
Yeah.
Tree 63, that's a weird one.
No. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
I'm trying to think what else. I've got a little bit of a Rolodex here.
Do you want me to just tell you?
Who?
It was Jeremy Camp.
Oh, yeah. I definitely would not have imagined you at a Jeremy McCam concert.
So the first
it had to be what, like 07? That'd be a while ago.
Yeah, it was before like the Ottoman Empire, the downfall. So I would say like 05, 06.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's got to be a while.
Yeah.
So you haven't been to a concert in like 20 years?
So the last yes, that is correct.
Yeah, that's a while. I don't go to a ton, but
I can't remember who I watched at Lifegate once. It was crowded and they didn't sing anything. Oh, it was
Kirk Franklin.
Oh, you didn't know?
I did go to the Palooza one at CHI.
Oh, yeah?
With Toby Mac and Kirk Franklin was there.
See?
Toby Mack saying Love Is in the House.
Yeah. Toby Mack, former member of DC Talk.
Yep.
Yeah. I know my old school Christian bands.
So who's the he has the afro and the wire rim glasses. He looks like John Niatawa. I hate to use that as a reference because we don't all look alike, but
what kind of music?
Ready? I hate to sing it because it's he is jealous for me.
Oh,
love's like a hurricane, and I am a tree.
I know that song.
Sending.
David Crowder.
Yep, they came to Life Gate. Thank
Oh,
you.
nice.
Good job. Is that a game?
What?
Pictionaries, categories.
I think it's like music bingo.
Oh,
Which
he loves me.
They play that here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. They play music bingo.
I think I could win.
I think I'd do well at music bingo.
Is there a lot of people?
Probably.
Do you eat?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's at the restaurant, so there's food here.
Oh my gosh.
It's your own question.
You know, generally at restaurants, they feed people, give them something to drink.
Shane, cue the music.
It's a bar and a grill.
Oh, you didn't know?
The bar is the drinking part.
I can't wait to call Sasha.
The grill is the food part.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah.
Trying to be helpful here.
Yeah.
If you can't call anybody with that phone, you're doing it wrong.
Cody goes, Damon, you talk about Afro Man? I don't think he'd be at Lifegate. Probably not. I don't know how Colt 45 would go over with that crowd.
Like the drink?
No, the song.
Oh. There's a song called Colt 45?
It's inappropriate.
I would imagine so.
It's it'd be a tough sell at a Christian function. It'd be
That thing wet.
like if it started playing in front of my mother, I would be so quick to like change that channel.
Oh man.
That's not a mixed company song.
Good to know.
Well, they have radio edits for that.
I don't think there's a radio. I mean, it'd be hard to radio edit that song and have much left.
And here I was this whole time thinking you would be in a much better mood coming off the weekend.
I'm in a great mood. Creed's coming to Omaha.
You get a local, highly rated local commit to commit to your school.
So can I just can I a little true serum here?
Sure. Your Red Sox have won one in a row.
It's more than they usually win in a row. I don't know how I feel about it. The Chase Lofton commit. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out a way to articulate it, which is, good because I talk for a living. But there's something about it that I don't know. I don't think he ends up at Florida State.
I don't think and I don't know what kind of career he's going to have, or I'm not speculating on any of that. But I think with the people in Tallahassee, like if they go to like huddle clips, they're not probably
not enamored.
Yeah. Because they're all
like the fans, you mean, like going to,
and they may not understand either. Like they're all Elkhorn North clips.
Yeah, and he's not playing there.
And but it's Millard's, because he still has one more year. So I don't know. I mean,
I just
highly rated.
Oh, for sure. And I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying he's not a good ball player. I get this sense that he doesn't end up at Florida State. I don't know why. I just have this sense that I would be surprised if I ever actually see him in a Florida State uniform. I don't know why.
So it wasn't the Red Sox 1-1 in a row?
No, I'm more excited about Wimbledon starting today. I'm very excited about that. I love Wimbledon. You know this about me.
There was a third one I thought you may enjoy too.
So I was really frustrated last night.
Oh, I know the other.
What's that?
Ayuk says he wants to be a Niner.
Yeah, I don't really buy that either.
Jeez.
I buy Lofton.
Just another skeptical Monday?
I buy Lofton playing for Florida State more than I buy that Ayuk really wants to be a Niner. He's going to be there this year because there's not a deal out there for him right now that makes sense for the 49ers. But he's not thrilled about being there because he's not getting paid. And the 49ers aren't thrilled about the situation because they probably either want to have him sewed up long-term on their terms or get blown away for a deal with him, and neither of those things have happened. So nobody's really happy there. It's just sort of a arranged marriage at this point.
All right, then doom and gloom. At least you could be happy about the rain. You're cheering for that.
It raining outside?
Yeah.
No, we might get flash floods again. There's like flooding all across Iowa. This is terrible.
I know this isn't sports again. Shocker this morning on a July 1st with a huge sports heavy slate.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean if you laugh? I'm going to seriously. What does
You're setting me up for failure when you do that. You know that, right?
No, I'm warning you.
Okay.
This is a warning.
I'm going to be on my
There's
best.
no failure in sports.
What does it mean when the news posts the cresting numbers? Like 32.73. Like,
oh, for flooding?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Safe.
No, I really don't know. I assume it has something to do with like
apparently crest, like that's peak, right?
Yeah, like it has to like it's a sort of I look at it as boiling point's the wrong term. It's the like point of no return where it like gets over the banks of the like whatever's holding it in, whether it's a river or a dam or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know specifically what that looks like with that number.
Thank the Lord.
See, I don't know everything.
Well, sometimes you'll pretend. I mean, that's woefully apparent.
I don't know.
Sometimes I just say things like I know, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you know what made me really mad?
You know what? I am 100% sure now you're getting my dinner today.
That's fine.
I was contemplating not shooting my shot yet and saving it.
I mean,
you're so mean-spirited.
Holding on to it for like 6 months at this point, dude. Like, I don't know what. I've never seen somebody like hold on to a $20 dinner bet so
such a jerk,
so preciously.
What?
Like, you could probably just come up to me most days and be like, "Hey, you want to buy me lunch?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go."
Hello.
I got
2 phones.
Could go over to, hang out here, get a burger, get some pizzas. You never know.
Well, you can't eat here, you know.
It's bar and grill. I'm gonna tell you what I'm mad about coming up next.
We will be back. 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 You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We're brought to you by our friends at Team Jack Foundation. Go to teamjackfoundation.org to get involved, and you can volunteer. You can donate right on the page. You can see what events are coming up, and you can see how Team Jack is using all of those resources that you're donating to help find better treatments for childhood brain cancer and one day a cure. That's teamjackfoundation.org.
You know, I am all in supporting that. How do we not even know when we're coming back from our own break?
Well, I think the producer is supposed to be involved there when letting us know what's happening.
I said it like 17 times. I said, you're back. You're coming back. You're coming back. You're back in 10. You're back in 30.
I wish people could just be flies on the wall during break. It is a total mess.
He's just shouting at us. I'm over here playing Afro Man.
That might have been the worst song I've ever heard.
I told you. I warned you.
Good morning, ladies. I was dry heaving.
I'm playing Afro Man. DB's playing David Crowder. It's like the biggest juxtaposition of music you could ever imagine.
Shane is low-key losing his mind.
Shane's just like, we're back.
I can
just
hear him yelling. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can't play. Yeah, that song's not going to be at Lifegate. It's not going to be at Love. It's not going to be at any church.
There's probably a radio edit.
Yeah, it's just
every other word is bad.
It's just the beat. The radio edit is just the beat.
I still don't understand where the Colt 45 thing came in. Is it because they were, minorities, or
I think they were drinking a Colt 45.
But he said good morning.
Yeah. Well, you can drink in the morning if you really want to.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well.
I'm just saying nothing is preventing you.
Common sense?
Well, there's that. But, if you write that song, you think there's a lot of common sense going on?
Oh, that was all. How does that even – nobody's playing that.
No, it's like an album song. It's not going on the radio.
An album song?
Yeah, it's a song that's like on the album, but it's never going to be distributed as a single.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So albums are these things.
He had me totally going with
this collection of music. And you put somewhere between like 10 and 15 songs on there usually. Sometimes people go longer. It's like 20 songs. And then usually the other thing they do is
1-800.
They take some of those songs.
You're an idiot.
There's
too many numbers to dial there.
They take some of those songs and they put them out as what they're called singles. because the song plays by itself on like the radio. And then you're like, really good albums have multiple singles. I know that can be confusing because it's more than one.
They don't even really do any of that stuff
But
anymore.
they come out one at a time.
Decide who you're hitching your wagon to. You riding with this guy?
They pretty much stopped making albums like within the last few years. But you're right though.
It's still called an album, Shane. When they put it out even digitally, there's just not a physical copy.
They don't even make that. They just make one song. And just release it as a single.
Tell that to Taylor Swift, all right, bud?
Hey, she's like the only one.
Well, she's
the majority of
only
people
one that
don't. The
matters.
majority of people don't release
I don't know
albums.
what like SoundCloud rappers you're listening to, Shane, but a lot of people still put out albums. LeBron James is a SoundCloud rapper? Is Bronny? Is that why you got signed?
I'm still mad about that. We need to get back to that.
What about Bronny?
Yeah.
I had a question that I want to ask you.
Okay, well then ask me after we talk
Let's talk to our guy Wyatt here.
But now he's just Wyatt?
He's whatever he wants to be. Wyatt, what's going on, bud?
Good morning, Wyatt.
Good morning. Hey, I'm so mad I wasn't able to listen to the Friday show live.
Oh, it was that not incredible?
I would have, pushed that train even further off the rails if I had a chance.
I told him I sat at the barber and I had a headache from laughing so hard where I tried to hold it in. Like my temples hurt.
I know. Well, I mean, whenever I call him, I'm just wondering, is it Ravi and White go to White Castle, or is it going to be Rush Hour with Damon? So,
well, you should be mad at him because he doesn't like flavors.
I like flavors. What flavors?
Not like Baskin Robbins 31. I'm talking about downtown.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
well,
the guy that doesn't eat Indian critiquing Indian. Isn't that rich?
I mean,
listen, they've had
I know
they've had new owners very recently, and we've noticed it. Well, personally, I thought it was a big improvement since the last owners.
I haven't been there since they had new owners, so maybe I'll give it another shot.
And that's him not having any clue what he's talking about never stopped him from having an opinion.
No, I have very strong opinions on everything, and I know almost nothing.
Talk to me, Wyatt. What's up?
Well, because I'm not going to talk about sports here, but just real quick, you're talking about the flooding at Cresting. So our house was in the floods in 2019, so I can tell you all about the crest thing. So that's just basically what's the high level for today is what the crest will be. So you can have, if you go on the
so is it like in inches?
No, it's feet.
Feet, like 25.4 feet.
32.7 is feet.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was like over that amount over the norm.
No, it's usually measured. There's like a place they measure it. It's usually either like on a riverbank or by a dam or something. And then if it reaches 32.7 feet, like then you're in trouble.
Yeah, for the Elkhorn River, it's over on the Maple Street Bridge, is where the measurement is. Well, I mean, there's quite a few, but that's one of them.
Yeah, there's like specific places where you measure the water level.
I asked him before; he had no idea. You get on the phone, and all of a sudden
I didn't know it was
Tom
called
Bavacqua.
I know they like measure. Who's Tom Bavacqua?
I had to use somebody that was a meteorologist that was before your time.
Old school. Yeah, that's
you weren't even born yet.
I know, like Jim Flowers. That's about the oldest school I get.
Yeah, well,
the old Jimbo's been around for a while.
Yeah, okay.
He's been around for a while. He has.
All right.
I heard that's not even his real name. I heard that's a pseudonym.
Like Asian Wyatt?
Or the Chinese, I don't know. Even though I'm Korean, that's kind of weird.
So would you prefer we call you Korean Wyatt or Asian Wyatt? Do you like
That's what he wanted me to put up there, but I'm like, I'm not putting that
do
up.
you like the more?
So you heard the analogy on Friday. I was in tears.
I mean, I don't know, because, Damon sometimes asks me questions like, hey, what's the best teriyaki sauce? I'm like, I don't know, but let me Google it up real quick.
It's all right. He texted me. He's like, hey, does your dad have any of this spice? And I was like, probably, man. I don't know.
Do you remember when I asked you if Pacific Rim was safe, just so I didn't have to be specific?
I don't know, probably.
That
wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, what?
I'm just like,
okay, Ravi.
Asian is like a big swath of people, Like I like to be more specific.
You know what? Pan Asian Wyatt from here on.
Pan Asian. Wow.
Wyatt, thanks, buddy.
Appreciate the call as always.
Wow.
We haven't gotten to anything today.
It's to the point now, like the last month or so.
Yeah.
And I remember John said, "Oh yeah, you guys are hitting your stride," and I was like, whatever he said that 6 weeks ago or whatever,
Yeah.
and I was like, because I have no idea what he's gonna say. We're hitting our stride. Like, I think you're certifiable.
Yeah, probably.
I think you're certifiable.
That's fine. You know Creed's coming to town?
It's in guys.
I'm so excited.
You reminded me of Dax yesterday when we were filling up the pool. It was like you're like a child. You're like a child.
Yeah, Creed gives me a childlike joy.
I'm gonna put that in my calendar.
I did. I put it in my calendar. I'm gonna show you.
That's cute.
It just says buy Creed tickets.
What question were you gonna get me mad about with LeBron and Bronny? Because you're not gonna get me to agree that it's. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? Jay was right. That's not a good example of nepotism.
Even if it's not a good example, let me ask you this, because I have been thinking about this.
It was a business decision
for the Lakers because they wanted to keep LeBron.
This is a business decision.
Let me ask this, though. If you're LeBron, you're a dad, at some...
Is this the question you wanted to know, really?
Yeah. At some point...
I am a dad.
I know. I'm giving you a very real-life example here. Your kid also plays the same sport as you. Crazy.
Just see? You just... just have to go over the line.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's who I am as a person.
That's fine.
Is there a point in which you need to have enough self-awareness about what your kid is to be like, maybe I'm actually not helping them out here? Like if Bronny is who I think he is, just not ever going to be an NBA player. At some point, if you're LeBron, aren't you doing him a disservice by putting him in this position?
No, Whitlock, you're not. Well, no.
First of all, that's out of line.
Oh, of all the things that have been said in the last month,
yes.
Now that's finally over the line?
That's the first one I've said that's over the line.
All right, listen. No. Because
are you if Bronny is who I think he is LeBron putting him in a good position to be successful?
What if you never ask what the desired outcome is? Like, what if Bronny's whole goal was to one day play with his dad? And it is.
I know that's LeBron's goal. I don't know.
It doesn't have any. Okay,
that's fine.
Mission accomplished.
If that's his
what
goal,
if it's not to be this prolific NBA player? It very well may be. But again, it's like I said on Friday. Most dads don't cap their child's ability.
I get that, but if you're putting him in this position, don't you owe it to him to
Not if he wants the opportunity to play with him.
If that's all he wants, then fine. Like if that's all he wants.
Like where was all this energy for like Dallas Cowboys fans with Jerry Jones and Steve or Belichick and his son who had no business calling a defense?
Belichick's son had no business being on an NFL staff. That's fine. I get that.
Where was all
And I don't think Bill was doing his son any favors either by putting him in a position to not be successful.
Why are we just so selective with it, though?
Well, you can pick whoever you want.
You know, Bickerstaff just got another job.
Yeah, and I said he should not have any of those jobs. Phil Steele coming up next.
We will be back. We will be back. We will be back. We will be back. Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
Here's the snap back. Zone read. Take the handoff. Harvard's got it. 20, 15, 10, 5, dive, touchdown, Nebraska.
Snap to Penix. Four-man rush. Pressure coming. Penix spots a receiver. Fires. Tipped in the air and caught by Polk in the end zone.
Michigan has won the college football national championship 34-13 over Washington to complete a perfect 15-0 season.
Kicking off hour number 3 here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities, KFOR in Lincoln. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here on the Pillar Exterior stage, and we are joined now by the godfather of college football preview magazines, the one and only Phil Steele. Phil, how are you this morning?
You know, I am doing great, Damon. How about yourself today?
We're good. We're good. It's interesting too, Phil, that we haven't had a chance to or had to talk as much the last couple of years with a Nebraska coach that's a little more forthcoming. Like, how much easier is it when you have coaches that really appreciate what you're doing?
Yeah, I was going to lead in with that, Damon, because I don't know if the listeners know, but I talk to over 120 of the 134 head coaches every year. But for some reason, that previous head coach, I forget his name, but we never talked. And so what I would do to get my Nebraska information for the magazine, to get my inside, is I would call Damon Benning and say, Damon, tell me about the team.
Oh, that guy doesn't know anything.
Out, but yeah, but I wouldn't. I haven't needed his help the last couple of years because my friend Matt Rule's back in business.
Isn't he something else? He's so transparent. It's almost incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I've talked to him at Temple, talked to him at Baylor, and talked to him here. And it's just he gives you a complete insight on the team. Doesn't hold anything back. Pluses, minuses, and the coaches know they can say something negative about players, and it's not going to hit the magazine. It's just between them and I.
Now, Phil, let's get into. I mean, we got to start with quarterbacks, right? Like the position was a disaster for Nebraska last year. Obviously, with the addition of Dylan Raiola, I mean, how much? And you're a great person to talk to about this because we've been talking about how much impact true freshman quarterbacks can have. How often do you see a true freshman quarterback be instantly impactful on a team?
It definitely has happened, and more recently. I think if you're talking like 20 years ago, it wouldn't have happened. But now with the advent of them coming in early for spring, being there, I think the high schools now are getting more advanced as far as the training and things go. We can see a true freshman come in and make an impact. And I tell you what, after the spring game, how many Nebraska fans were heading to the Vegas to play Dylan Raiola for the Heisman, for crying out loud, because that was a heck of a spring game. It's going to be tough to live up to that. But I do think when you look at Nebraska, their weakness the last couple of years has, of course, been throwing the football. Teams could stack the line of scrimmage against them and slow them down. They're not going to be able to do that this year. They're a good receiving core, a guy like Raiola at the quarterback spot, and solid offensive line. I think Nebraska is going to have a much improved offense this year.
You always like the stat of returning starts for offensive linemen as a core unit. How advantageous was that when you're trying to slot Nebraska in terms of a prediction?
Yeah, I think it's huge to have those kind of career starts. They've got 120 coming back this year, which is nice. In fact, I've got them rated as one of the top 40 offensive lines in the country. A guy like Bryce Benhart coming back is a guy that I think he's an NFL caliber player at the tackle position. So this is a solid group overall. They get better and better each and every week. They're recruiting better, and they are significantly improved from what Coach Rule inherited when he got there.
Phil, so how do you handicap the new teams coming into the Big Ten? Because I think that's one of the bigger storylines. Obviously, you've got Oregon coming off a really good year, Washington coming off a great year, but with a ton of turnover everywhere. And then you got the Southern California teams. Like, how do you sort of try and figure out, okay, who makes sense in this new league and how you think they're going to do?
Yeah, and I think you have to look at it at a team-by-team basis, individually. In fact, there's two teams that I think will have success this first year and two teams I think are going to struggle the first year. And the one thing I do want to point out to the Big Ten listeners is that last year the Pac-12 was one of the best conferences in college football. So they actually had their best season in the last 10 years. Last year, they were loaded with talent. Now, the two teams that I think are going to struggle in the transition, number one is Washington. And Washington is coming off a national championship game. So anything they do is going to be probably less than last year. But they lost a ton to the transfer portal. They only are number 132 on my experience level. They had a late coaching change with Jed Fish coming in. Remember, the coaching move happened late after Nick Saban decided to step down in January. And they have a tough schedule this year as well, my number 21 rated schedule. It wouldn't surprise me if Washington went from playing in the national championship game to actually just fighting to get to a bowl game this year. I do see some losses on the agenda, and I think it's going to be a disappointing year for Husky fans. Same thing with UCLA. Now, UCLA's been in a bowl game each of the last couple of years. They've got a new head coach. Excuse me, but he's not really a new head coach because Foster's been there the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the talent they have coming back, they're only number 96 on my experience chart, and they have just a killer schedule. They get Oregon at home, Iowa at home, USC at home. There'll be a dog in all those games. They play LSU, Penn State, Rutgers, Nebraska, Washington, all on the road. Tough schedule. I think UCLA, if they get to a bowl game, Deshaun Foster will have done a great season. Now, USC loses their star quarterback, but I like what I saw in Miller Moss in the bowl game. They have talent. You know they're going to be explosive on offense. But to me, the biggest change is defensively. And part of the reason I'm down on UCLA, they lost their defensive coordinator, Danton Lind, to USC. And I think we brought some UCLA guys with them, brought a ton of transfers. USC's biggest improvements on the defense, I don't know if I'd put them in the classification of Big Ten title contender, but I do think USC has the potential to actually improve on its 8-5 record last year, despite being only number 104 on my experience chart. But of the four teams, clearly Oregon is the one that's got a chance to actually win the Big Ten. Cristobal did a good job recruiting there. Lanning has done a great job recruiting there the last couple of years, has brought in a ton of talent. The receiving core I've got rated as the best in the country. Number 3 rated offensive line, number 7 set of linebackers. They rank in my top units in all 8 positions. They get Ohio State at home. And you look at the road games this year, UCLA, Purdue, Wisconsin, and Michigan are the two toughest ones they have on the road, but both those fall into the winnable category. So this is an Oregon Duck team that I think is a legitimate Big Ten title contender in its first year.
Yeah. Is it primarily, I know you like the wide receiving room, and I love their D-line and O-line as well, but they have some margin for error at the quarterback spot. Are they amongst one of the top teams with quarterback depth between having Moore and Gabriel?
Yeah, absolutely. Gabriel comes in from Oklahoma, and I don't think he's going to match Bo Nix's stats. Bo Nix had a phenomenal year, 4,500 yards passing, 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I don't think he'll match those stats, but he'll have a very good year. And as you mentioned, Dante Moore last year, now going back to your question at the start, he was a true freshman quarterback that struggled last year. I think he had 3 straight games where he tossed a pick 6 last year, lost his starting job. But Dante Moore is now in his second year. He's got a big arm. He can make every single throw. He's probably got the most talented arm on the team. And he's a guy that can come in, learn behind Gabriel. And if thrown into the mix, Dante Moore will be much better than last year. He was my number 3 rated quarterback coming out of high school. So, yeah, I love the depth that Oregon has at the quarterback position.
Let's go to two teams that have played for, meaningful title opportunities at the end. Let's start with Michigan and then go to Iowa. Michigan has a high win total. 9.5, 10 in some places. What do you see for Michigan?
I think when you look at Michigan, you have to look at the fact that last year's Michigan team was number 7 on my experience chart. They were loaded with experience. And guess what? They won the national title. Well, this year they're number 117. Now, defensively, they're still tough.
Yeah.
When you look at Michigan, they got my number 4 rated defensive line, my number 8 set of defensive backs, number 18 linebackers. They're solid on special teams. Question marks. They lose all 5 starters on the offensive line. And quarterback, who the heck's your quarterback going to be? Orji, Warren, Tuttle, could be any of those 3. I don't think they're going to get great quarterback play. Now, they host Texas. They host Oregon. Those are 2 games I think they can lose. They also play at Ohio State. I think Ohio State's got that game circled for some reason or another. Not really sure why, but I think they do. And so when I look at Michigan, I do not think they're a Big Ten title contender this year. I think the quarterback and offensive line questions are too big. The schedule's too tough to overcome, and I think they take a drop off. And then what was the other team you mentioned, Damon?
Iowa.
Now, Iowa, I'm a little bit different on Iowa. I like this Iowa team. Originally I thought that they were going to lose 3 of their big stars on the defense of the NFL draft. Guess what? They all came back. Nick Jackson at linebacker, Jay Higgins at linebacker. In fact, Iowa's got my number 1 rated linebacking core in the country, my number 5 set of defensive backs, number 10 special teams. They're always great on defense and special teams. As long as Phil Parker's the defensive coordinator, they will be. And then offensively, if they can get Cade McNamara back and healthy, remember he wasn't really healthy last year and then got injured and was out for the year. That's a big plus. They've got Williams and Johnson at running back. The offensive line is the best offensive line they've had there in the last 4 or 5 years. Almost everybody is back on the offensive line. They are going to be strong there. I think they're actually going to have an offense to go along with that defense and special teams. And then when you look at their schedule, look at their road games. Maryland, UCLA, Michigan State, Minnesota. All of those are winnable. The one road game that I would have an underdog is at Ohio State. That means you got to come into Iowa City and come out of there with a win. And they get most of their tough games at home this year. So to me, it wouldn't surprise me if Iowa gets to double-digit wins. I wonder what their win total is this year.
They're over under 7.5.
7.5, which is absurd. Criminal.
Oh, my goodness. What? I got to get off the phone. I'm going to Vegas. See you in a minute.
Phil, I've been hammering that for like 2-3 weeks now. I don't understand how it's that number. I look at that schedule and I'm like, they're going to accidentally win 9 games.
He's been trying to make the case. We look at it every week. He thinks it's a typo.
I do. I'm like, at some point, they're going to be like, oh, we can't give away money for free.
Wow.
I can't believe it.
7.5?
I can't believe it.
Oh, let's keep this one under our hat. Let's keep it at 7.5 for a while.
Why did the win total balloon to 9.5 yet tomorrow?
Phil Steele and Ravi and Damon wouldn't shut up about it.
That's right.
So we've got
100,000 Iowa over.
We've we've got about 10, 12 minutes here, and we've only mentioned Ohio State in passing. So we should probably bring up the Buckeyes here. Obviously, you've got new quarterback in town. Well, you got like 8 new quarterbacks in town, if we're being honest, in that quarterback room. You also have Chip Kelly coming in to run a different offense. What are you seeing for the Buckeyes this year? Because it feels like it's entirely possible they could go 11-1 and Ryan Day could still get fired, depending on if that's the wrong one.
Right. And, I was thinking middle of the pack, Big Ten, maybe 7th, 8th place coming in. All right. Oh, Ohio State. Got it. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. If they lose to Michigan, Ryan Day's gone. And a lot of folks say it's national championship or bust. I think it's beat Michigan or bust. And they have to, of course, qualify for a playoff, win a playoff game or two. I don't think they have to win the national title, but they do have to beat Michigan. Now, the thing that's surprising with Ohio State is so many players turned down the NFL to come back for this year. So they are absolutely loaded defensively. In fact, number 1 defensive line in the country, number 1 secondary in the country, adding a guy like Caleb Downs from Alabama. They didn't bring in a ton of transfers, but the ones they did, amazing. Quinshon Judkins, a running back, Will Howard, a quarterback. Seth McClawn is an upgrade at the center position as well. So they bring in some tremendous transfers. Even Will Kazmarek coming in from Ohio at tight end, I think is a nice plus there. To go along with all the returning veterans they have, 16 returning starters, which is unusual. Normally these players would have gone to the NFL. They didn't. I think Ohio State's in great shape this year. Now, they do have to play Oregon on the road, and I have an underdog in that game. I have the Ducks. Autzen Stadium is one of the toughest places to play. Lanning's got a great team in Oregon this year, but that's the only game I have an underdog. I do have a 13-point favorite right now over Michigan. I think they get that one in the season final. So I think we might see a rematch of Ohio State and Oregon for the Big Ten title game. And naturally, if you make the playoff and win that game, you get a bye. You're going to be in pretty good shape. But I think the 2 most talented teams in the country coming in are clearly Ohio State and Georgia.
All right, before we get to the SEC, because I do want to talk Bama, Texas, and Georgia, obviously. But before we leave the Big Ten, I want to go up north to Madison. A lot of people like Coach Fickell, really like the staff that he's put together, but the offense is in a little bit of a change. But it is year 2 for Coach Fickell. He's known as a builder. What do you like about, or do you like Wisconsin?
The schedule is not great for them this year. It's the 20th toughest schedule in the country. They draw Alabama in the non-conference slate. They play USC on the road. They play Iowa on the road. They play Nebraska on the road. Those are all games I have an underdog in. I also have an underdog home against Iowa. And Penn State at home as well. So the schedule is not what I like. I do like Luke Fickell. I can go back to Luke Fickell's first year at Cincinnati, and he pretty much walked me through what he was going to do at Cincinnati, and then did it. Each year you saw his roster just get so much better, and then all of a sudden they're up there playing in the playoff. As a group of 5 team, which was shocking. And I think Fickell will do a great job at Wisconsin. I just don't know if it's going to be this year because of the schedule and because of the returning talent they have coming back. They're number 49 on my experience chart, a little less experience than last year. They're going to need Tyler Van Dyke to step up and play like he did, not last year, not the year before, but 2 years ago when he was that touted freshman that came in and really lit it up. I don't like the depth as much at running back like they had last year, but if Malusi can stay healthy, they added a Tyree Walker coming in from Oklahoma. They could be in decent shape there. The offensive line looks solid. The defense will be good, but the schedule is probably the thing that has me down on Wisconsin a little bit this year as opposed to last year.
All right, Phil, let's move over to the SEC like Damon talked about, and let's get into, again, the teams coming into the conference from outside. Obviously, Texas coming off the great year, and Oklahoma trying to come back up on the upswing with Brent Venables. How do you feel about Texas and Oklahoma in year 1 in the SEC?
Well, I think both teams are very talented. In fact, if you go to my power poll in the magazine, which is different than my actual ranking, I've got Texas number 4 coming in, and I've got Oklahoma number 7. Brent Venables, Brent Venables' defense is somewhat complex. And this is year 3, and he's really built this thing. And talking to Coach Venables and going over that defense, I get the feeling this is going to be like one of those Clemson defenses. Stutzman back at middle linebacker, huge. Billy Bowman at strong safety, huge. You look at them offensively, I would have liked to have seen a little better bowl game from Jackson Arnold, but I think Arnold is the future and will do well. They've got the running backs. Offensive line's your big-time question mark, but they got some offensive line coach, Bill Bedenbaugh, who's one of the best in the country, and I think he'll develop a good offensive line. In fact, when I talked to Coach Venables, he felt the experienced veterans that they brought in, he feels great about the offensive line. He said they're ambitious, intelligent, driven, and tough, and feels they're going to do well. So I actually think they're one of the most talented teams in the country. The thing I don't like about Oklahoma, they play the toughest schedule of any SEC team this year. It's like, welcome to the SEC. You're playing Missouri on the road, Mississippi on the road, Texas and Dallas, at Auburn, at LSU. And, oh, by the way, you also get a home game against Alabama and a home game against Tennessee. So it's the toughest schedule in the SEC. That's why I've got them number 7 in the power poll, talent-wise, but number 20 overall. Now, as far as Texas, they've got a legitimate chance of winning the SEC this year. They've got the best quarterback room in the country with Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning, even Trey Owens. There is the number 3 guy. He threw 2 touchdowns in the spring game. They've got a very solid offensive line. The defense is loaded, and the special teams is solid. Plus, they get Georgia at home. In fact, when you look at their schedule, the only game that they won't be favored is Georgia, and even then they could be favored by that game. As mentioned, they get it at home. They do play Oklahoma and Dallas, but I think when you look at Texas, they've got a shot at actually winning the SEC this year. They might have to play Georgia 3 times, though. What if they play them during the regular season in Texas, play them again with the SEC title game, and then play them again in the playoff? That'd be tough to get past Georgia 3 times.
Let's skip over to Georgia. That they're loaded. And God, I like the quarterback spot because I think he was so maligned for a pretty good quarterback last year. I felt like I had seen this script before with Bennett, although Beck wasn't near as old as Bennett was, but he always seemed to get the but treatment. Is this the year you think that he becomes the prolific guy that he was coming out of high school?
Yeah, I think so. And I think if you followed Carson Beck last year and you looked at him at the start of the year, the coaching staff, was trying to wean him in slowly, get him to that level. And I think he got better and better as the season went on. Now, he can go get a first down with his legs. He's elite with the intermediate throws. He's a great processor. Needs to work on the deep balls a little bit, but we saw his improvement as the season went on. And now he's the leader of the offense. He's no longer the first-year starting quarterback taking over for Bennett. So I think when you look at Beck, he's going to have themselves a very good season, one of the favorites for the Heisman. And really roster-wise, I talked about Ohio State's roster being right up there. Georgia does have the best roster in the country. I mean, you could go 3 deep at almost any position, and you would find a guy that would start at a lot of other SEC schools. So talent-wise, this is the most talented team in the country, probably the best offensive line, one of the best defensive lines, linebackers, DB, special teams, an absolutely loaded, talented team. Now, Georgia's got a schedule like Oklahoma, fairly like Oklahoma. They play Alabama on the road. They play Texas on the road. They play Ole Miss on the road. All 3 of those teams are going to be top 10. They play Clemson and Atlanta. So there are tough games in the schedule. I don't know if they go undefeated like they did last year during the regular season, but to me, they've got the best talent in the country. And once they make it into the playoff, I find it difficult for any team to beat Georgia because they are so deep.
Phil, I want to ask about Alabama. Obviously, I'm a huge Kalen DeBoer guy, but how do you kind of try and weigh how good DeBoer's been as a head coach versus losing the best college football coach of all time?
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you. When Nick Saban stepped down and then a whole bunch of those players hit the portal and they lost so much to graduation, I was like, you know what, Alabama might be in for a rebuilding year this year. And then after going over the team with Coach DeBoer, and as you mentioned, Coach DeBoer is one of the best head coaches, 104-12 is his career record as a head coach. And I asked him right up, first question, what's it like stepping in the shoes of a legend? He's like, you know what, I can handle it. And I'm like, okay. And you look at the talent, going over the roster with them, I actually feel that this year's Alabama team has more talent than last year's Washington team did. And guess what? Kalen DeBoer had last year's Washington team playing in the doggone national championship game. I didn't think they'd beat Oregon the first time they played them. I didn't think they'd beat Oregon the second time they played them. I didn't think they'd beat Texas. I mean, all he did is get that team to win. And he's got a guy, Jalen Milroe, at quarterback. They've got a veteran offensive line. The defense is better than when he had at Washington by far. They got my number 10 set of defensive backs. number 14 linebackers and defensive line. They got the best special teams in the country. They go out and bring in the Lou Groza Award winner from Miami of Ohio. I like the transfers he's brought in. He's an outstanding coach. And then you look at the schedule this year, and at Oklahoma might be the only game I have an underdog. I've got the Georgia game, a toss-up game during the season. Alabama's going to be much better than anybody expects. So it's not going to be Vince Lombardi followed by Phil Bengston at Green Bay, if you get my drift, as far as coaches taking over. I think DeBoer's going to do extremely well with Alabama.
Oh, man, Phil Steele, the GOAT, the Godfather. Phil, we appreciate your time. Picked up my magazine this weekend over at a Barnes & Noble. Great stuff, as always. We appreciate your time.
Hey, I appreciate it. Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, the only 2 exclusive locations to get it at this year, or philsteele.com. But always enjoy talking football. And Damon,
yes, sir.
We're going to have to just pick up the phone
and
talk
just
in the spring
just shoot the
now
breeze. You got it. Anytime,
right,
buddy.
A lot of fun talking to you guys, as always. We should do this more often.
Yeah, appreciate the work, Phil. Thank you.
That is Phil Steele, author of the most famous college football preview magazine in the world. You hear that, Shane? We're supposed to call him more. Let's do a little mid-season check-in with Phil. Why not? Have a good time.
Yeah.
We like Phil.
Yeah, we love Phil.
Good stuff there. We will be back with Brianna Holman of your Omaha Supernovas, the latest signing for Omaha's professional volleyball team, next here on Hurrdat Sports Radio.
We will be back. 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 You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, also KFOR in Lincoln for this third hour. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla, and I'm reminding you to get out to unionomaha.com to get tickets for their upcoming match. They've got a little bit of a break here. They're not back home until August 3rd, but it's never too early to go ahead and get those tickets. And, you can go to Union Omaha, get some merch, and see what else is going on with the team and the community. Make sure you get to unionomaha.com. DB.
You've got the mag right there in front of us.
I do.
We've got our guest here.
We are joined now by Brianna Holman. She just signed with your Omaha Supernovas, formerly of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, national champion with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Brianna, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
So, Brianna, I got to ask, what's it like to have this opportunity to come back to Nebraska, a place where you obviously had a ton of success and play professionally here in Omaha?
Wow. Honestly, it's a dream come true. You grow up and you want to play you want to play professionally. And then the fact that it's happening right now in one of my favorite states, obviously, because I have so much history with Nebraska, it's truly a dream come true.
When you're taking a look at joining, you're used to winning. You've been successful your whole life. So I understand that, but did you embrace the fact that you're coming in to a Supernovas team that have had such early success, obviously, within the league? Is that just part of who you are? It seems to be in your DNA when it comes to winning.
Yeah. So I knew that as soon as they announced that Omaha was going to have a team, I knew right away that that's exactly where I wanted to go. So they do have a Dallas team. That's where I'm from. But again, I just keep saying it's just something special about Omaha. And so that's why I wanted to come back and join the team.
Omaha greater than DeSoto?
Stop. Yeah, I love
it was rhetorical. I mean, it was kind of low-hanging fruit. I picked it. I apologize. My mom is from Houston, so I'm not, I mean that with all kidding aside.
No, I'm a city girl, but it's nice when I come to Nebraska, it's a lot slower, and then I personally love the snow. A lot of people give me a lot of crap for that, but I think it's beautiful. I literally would go out and make my car fishtail on purpose, in the park, because I didn't grow up with that, So yeah, I love it.
So Brianna, how much, I guess, how exciting is it to just be able to play professionally back in the U.S. now? I know you've been overseas the last few years, and
Israel and Thailand, right?
Yeah, Thailand. Thailand was that was interesting. It was hot, man. It was hot in the winter, but it was an amazing experience. And I was living with the locals. I was pretty far from Bangkok, so I didn't see a lot of tourists.
So let me ask. Now I'm curious. How does your diet have to change from a competitive athlete standpoint, depending on where you are?
It's really hard. You have to be disciplined, and like I'm a foodie, right? So like I love to try all the new foods. I want to try the local spots. But yeah, you just kind of have to be disciplined. But when I played in Israel, they eat a lot of like Mediterranean style food, so it's very clean. So that was ideal for me. And so as soon as I got there, I chiseled up really, really fast. But in Thailand, I had to, they eat like a lot of pork and stuff like that. So you have to be mindful of that in terms of like your recovery. Yeah.
You got to be careful with all those noodles and Thai food, man. Like that can get on top of you in a hurry.
What's crazy is I love like Chipotle. Like that's my go-to. Man, when I got home, I was like, I don't want to see no more noodles. I don't want to see no more rice. I was cool on it for a while, but
don't you think it had enough rice for a lifetime?
Absolutely.
So what about the Supernovas specifically just got you excited about? There's, like you said, there's a Dallas team. There's lots of really good franchises in the PVF. Like what, besides the state of Nebraska, what about the organization itself like really attracted you to come play here?
I got a chance to talk to Coach Bird.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like her, and I'm super excited to be coached by her. I really agree with like her coaching philosophy and like her style of coaching, and like that's super important to me. Is having a good relationship like off the court as well as on the court, and then just kind of learning about like the behind the scenes things that Omaha, the Supernovas offer. That was super important to me as well.
Yeah, she does. She's not only a great coach, obviously, with the accomplishments, but I like to give her a hard time. She has a fantastic radio voice, too. So I always tell her, like, if anything happens with the Supernova, she can have one of our jobs because just her demeanor, she's super cool. She's direct when she needs to be, but she has an amazing radio voice, too. So, you guys got options, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, leadership is super important. So I'm like, well, if you're the captain, like I'm down. So,
Brianna, is there anything about? I know you said you cooled on the Chipotle a little bit because you had enough rice for now. But is there anything that you're just? I hear a lot of the players that were on the team last year. They're like, man, it's just so cool to have like to play professional volleyball and like have a Starbucks right around the corner, or like what else are you excited about being able to play back here in the States?
I'm more so excited to play in front of my friends and family. I have family that they don't go far from home, some of them. And so, I'm across the world and it's the middle of the night. And so like they can't catch my games, but I absolutely miss that, like going out to eat after the games, just, with your cousins and stuff like that. Like I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Brianna, it's great to talk to you. It's great to have you back here in the state of Nebraska, or soon to be back in the state of Nebraska, and we can't wait to watch you play this year.
Thank you guys so much. This was awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Congrats.
That's Brianna Holman, former Nebraska Cornhusker and new Omaha Supernova.
They just keep loading the stars. They had the transition, you had a retirement, and 2 moving on.
Yep. You got a Caffey.
Yeah, roster filling now.
Signed up as well. They're getting it done. A lot of former Huskers trying to get signed up on the roster. We love to see it. It's a good, it's a nice little.
Some will tell you it's a volleyball state.
It's a nice little talent pool to be able to pull from there. It's
I know. It must be rough. Huh?
It's just like, hey, just call Coach Cook back. Hey, you got anybody for us?
As he continues to reload.
They are stacked as always. We appreciate Brianna for joining us there, and look forward to watching her and all her teammates coming up for the next season of the Omaha Supernovas. But as we were talking with Phil Steele, college football earlier, you were going to ask me about the magazine. I picked up the mag this weekend.
Yeah. So how long did it take you? A year, a couple years to sort through all the abbreviations? Because now I feel like I'm pretty, like, I know exactly what I'm looking for in terms of the meat.
It took me probably the first year. It took me to like, I still had to look it up and like go back and reference or whatever, but I feel like I've got it pretty locked down now.
Yeah.
I like I appreciate, so I like to get full disclosure, we love our guy Phil Steele, but I like to get a couple different magazines I like our guy Phil Steele, obviously, because
Athlon, Lindy's.
So I like the Lindy's Big Ten one because it gets a little bit more in depth on the Big Ten teams. So this is a great overview for everybody, right? All the snapshots of every team you could possibly want. And then he gets into depth with some features and stuff. I like to pick up the Lindy's for the Big Ten one as well. And then, I like our guy, Brett Ciancia, the Pick Six previews also to get his stuff. So I kind of like to dabble because they each give you something a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been working through my Phil Steele one. I also had a nice little, I don't go to a bookstore that much, but I had a nice little trip to Barnes & Noble this weekend.
I tell you, last year when I picked it up, I went to where I thought they would be, the sports magazine sections, and I was a little overwhelmed just because it was right. I don't know if it's in the. Anyway, I'll get to that. But there was this comic book section right around the corner for superheroes. So I got a little distracted, and then I came back, and
I don't blame you.
There was about 4 or 5 people in line. I'm like, hey, this is going to sound like a dumb question, but I was over here in this part, the sports magazines, and it wasn't over there. And she said, oh, what are you looking for? And I said, oh, Phil Steele. And she goes, oh, it's right here when you enter the doors. It's on our feature rack.
Yep.
And I
did the exact same thing last year. I swear to you.
I looked to my left, and there's
an enormous stand.
Yep.
With about 100 of them.
100%.
Yep. I did the exact same thing last year.
Isn't that crazy?
I walked in. That's how I figured out that I like Lindy's, because I was like, well, I want to get something. And so I picked up the Big Ten preview from Lindy's last year, which is, I think, I've done Athlon and stuff before, but I think last year was the first year I bought Lindy's.
And I think Athlon comes out first, so sometimes it's not always as, you get portal guys and
you
stuff.
Get late, you get late changes. But I was checking out, and then as I'm walking out, I finally see it, and then I have to go back and check out again after I pick up Phil Steele.
Wasn't alone.
I felt like an idiot. I felt so dumb because it's literally right there when you walk in.
Kind of like the show. There were 2 of us.
And I just walked right by. I was like, no, that's not what I need.
I tried to play it off. I was just waiting for those people in line. I had a question.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, man, I'm a dummy. There's a million of them right in front of my face. Here they are. But no, we got our magazines. There's college football next month.
Oh, I know. I'm pumped.
Next month.
Let's go get it.
We are 1 away. Let's do it.
We will be back. We will be back.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Oh, you didn't.
We will be back. We will be back. You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Radio.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, wrapping up the show on AM 590 ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities, KFOR, and Lincoln. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. If you've missed any of the show, make sure you check us out on all of your favorite podcast platforms. I'm sure Out of Breath Brian has us on that subscribe button as he gives us a call on the hotline 888-638-4876. What's up, Brian?
No, this is my one time a year I got to call in and give my fellow Laker fan a little pressure. Damon, let me explain this, man. Coming from another Laker fan, Phil. It's embarrassing, man. We got Snitchy Russell on the team, followed by this. Man, speaking of Snitchy Russell, you know your boy that he snitched on was on Gil's Arenas letting people know what the deal was. But I digress. It's just embarrassing.
Hey,
it's just embarrassing. You talk about father-son duos. I mean, Griffey Jr., Bonds and his father. And hey, let's talk about the Dunleavys. They successful. And you talking about the Cowboys ownership. Hey, Jerry's son is just as successful as his father. They have accomplished the same thing in the NFL. Nothing. Okay? So he's sticking to the trend.
Oh, at least that is funny that you cheer for two teams that have had something like this happen. How mad, because I know you don't like him anyway, how mad were you when you read D'Angelo Russell picks up his option year and all of a sudden it puts the Lakers behind the 8 ball with their salary cap? It's like, yeah, he just doesn't do the Lakers any favors. Like, redo the year.
It's
like
not him.
LeBron.
It's not him.
LeBron's gonna do it.
I gotta blame the ownership. Damon, because as a Laker fan, I told people when LeBron came, they asked me, "You happy LeBron here? You're gonna make the playoffs?" I'm a Lakers fan. Who cares about the playoffs? We care about championships. Okay, the man is getting a parade, being paraded toward the end of his career by the Lakers, the team he got an asterisk championship with. And he ain't really did nothing the regular season to get a championship. He ain't really did it. He's not lived up to superstars before him that had come to the Lakers and won a championship. We're just parading him around, and then we're parading his son around. He's not even a lifetime Laker. I'm like, why does he deserve a parade from us when he hasn't done anything for us? That's my opinion.
Listen, I can't stand this Lakers team. You know they drive me crazy. But I do think the Bronny thing didn't bother me, man, because if I could do for my kids, like I would, especially, and I don't know what Bronny was, he could have been like, man, I just want to play with my dad. I want the opportunity. If I get cut, I get cut. Like, he may be thinking that. And if that's the case, like, I'm not mad. And I'm also not mad if LeBron's like, man, just get him around me for a year or two. Let him look at my workout regimen, how I, take care of my body or whatever. Maybe he could eventually stick. Like, that doesn't bother me either. And it doesn't cost the Lakers anything. I mean, not really.
You saying that now, you sound calm, but you just asked the question a little while ago. Why are people really giving the Lakers grief on this? And it's the Lakers, I think, that are getting the grief. I don't really feel. I know people always bag on LeBron. They always do that. That's, as you say, low hanging fruit. But just in my heart, I feel for the organization, from the owner, from the daughter right now, who had to kick her brothers off of the ownership out of the team.
Nobody talks about nepotism with Jeannie Buss. I mean, the irony.
Yeah, that's who I am a little bothered by. It's like, are we going to win championships, or are we just doing a parade for anybody that had a good career in the NBA who wants to come be with the Lakers?
I'm not with that. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's
And Lord knows, it's like my guy T-Mac said. I've seen plenty of parents in multiple sports have their kids quit. They start their own league. They start their own AAU team, their own club team. These people that are mad at LeBron are the same people that'll, their kid will get cut and they'll go start their own league because they want to do what's best for their son or daughter.
No, but that sucks too. That's my point.
My point is the hypocrisy.
Like that's fine, and I'll eat that. Like right, like okay, maybe we should talk about Belichick's kid more. Maybe we should talk about Stephen Jones more. Maybe we should talk about the Bus family more. Like I get that.
We're just,
and I'm okay with that.
Just
maybe
the
we should talk about JB
the
Bickerstaff.
irony of the 4-letter network and some of these talking heads mad at LBJ and Bronny.
And
I'm watching Jeannie Buss run this team into the ground.
And don't let me tell you how mad I am about Mike Dunleavy's job as the Warriors GM. Like I'm there, right?
Hey,
I got you.
You got championships, Robbie.
Not under Dunleavy, they didn't.
Luke Walton coached our team. Okay, like I'm over the whole.
I get it, and you want to get mad at Luke Walton? That's cool. Like I'm fine with that.
We're just selective because we don't like the guy.
But my point is,
I don't like him either, but I'm not mad at him.
It all sucks, and those people that go out there and like start a new league or start a new team because their kid got cut from select ball. It's like, hey, maybe they should try something else. Like, is that okay to say out loud? Like, maybe they should, like, maybe we try something else.
Listen,
maybe you need to go play rec league ball. Like, that's okay. Not everybody has to be on select
Why not the Jimmer Fredette role? Try the Jimmer Fredette role. Do go over there in Japan. Get a little notoriety or something. I just want to see more than 4.8 points a game.
Hey, I rolled my eyes too when I was looking at options, and people throw out DeMar DeRozan, and I was like, great, another mid-range shooter. Like.
Yeah, don't need that.
Right?
I'm just saying.
Don't need that.
I appreciate the call. Stay dry out there, my man.
I'm just saying there's it's okay for you not to be good at everything. It's all right.
I just think it's fake outrage. We've seen way worse, and we don't know what the desired outcome was. Like
I don't know what the desired outcome is. It was a
business decision.
I get it.
It wasn't in spite. It wasn't like they didn't short themselves to do a solid. You're not using that pick anyway.
Who has a better chance of helping the Lakers this year, Bronny or Kevin McCullers?
You're not listening to what I'm talking about.
I am listening.
No, you want to skirt the issue because you want to make the case that Bronny isn't good. That's never come out of my mouth. No, you've never heard me make the case for Bronny being in the NBA.
If they don't draft Bronny, does LeBron leave? Is that the argument you're making?
I don't know. But I do know what if the conversation looked like this? Because we're so short-sighted. So I don't even like doing this. But let's say for laughs and giggles.
Okay.
They go to Rob Pelinka and Jeannie and whatever Rambus does. Okay.
Nobody knows.
Okay. Like that's about as close to nepotism without being related as anything I've ever seen. The guy's not very good.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Always has a job.
Let's say LeBron says, hey, guys, you draft Bronny.
Mm-hmm.
Two things are accomplished here. We get to live the dream one day. Maybe, we could share the same court. We could travel together. Whatever that arrangement is, let's not pretend like we know.
Mm-hmm.
You keep making it indirectly about, well, this guy's a pro prospect. He needs to be playing professional. He's not going to be a good pro. That's not the discussion. It's not the discussion because you don't know the desired outcome. So it could have went something like this. Hey, you draft my son.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win. 55th pick. We're not using it anyway. We're going to make a couple moves in free agency. I'll do you a solid. I'll opt out. I'll opt back in. I'll sign for less than max money, and we can go get a good player. Is that a win for everybody? That's not nepotism.
I mean, if you're making the argument that
I'm making,
hold on.
I'm saying,
if you're making the argument that if he had whatever same affinity for somebody that would not have been named, that was not his son,
I'm saying you could
for the same thing.
You could sign LeBron for less money.
Like, let's call it.
Let's say exactly what I said. Let's say you could sign LeBron.
Right, but
for
the
less
only
money.
way that it's not nepotism is if he would have done the same thing for a different prospect.
Well, so what? It happens to be his son, but he may not want to have that affinity to play with somebody else. But it's not like it's not been done before. It's without it being his son. Hey, let's go get who was Little Headband?
Shabazz Napier?
Nope, in Cleveland. LeBron got him the big deal.
Little headband.
Yes, guard.
Boobie Gibson?
Nope. Same backcourt though. He ended up playing, I think, in Utah after Cleveland.
Which Cleveland stint? First one or second one?
First.
Eric Snow?
Nope. Second.
Come
back to that.
Okay.
Did the same thing with the guy with the Kardashians. Got him a contract.
Chris
right?
Humphries?
No.
Which Kardashians guy?
He has like a ton. He's like he can't just get it right.
Lamar Odom?
No. Rebounder, Cleveland.
Tristan Thompson.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. We've seen LeBron get guys deals for whatever the reason, because he likes playing with them, because he doesn't like we've seen him get do guys solids before that aren't his kid. So what if he wants to play with his son? If it's going to save the Lakers money in the long haul and you get to get another player, that could actually be good for the franchise. It could be. Right?
Damon Jones?
No.
Larry Hughes?
No.
Ira Newble?
No.
These are all the guards.
No, he got paid. Mo.
Oh, Mo Williams.
Yes.
Okay. Listen.
Got Mo Williams paid, right?
If that's the arrangement, okay.
That's not even that far-fetched, though, for people to be up in arms. And keep in mind,
the only difference is,
do you know what drives me bonkers?
What's that?
We're talking about Jeannie Buss.
The only difference is,
do you know what her last name is?
Yeah, you just said it's Buss.
Good Lord.
You know the only difference between Bronny and all those other guys? All those other guys were NBA players.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you can die on a hill.
I mean, it's different. It is a little different.
This one I may watch you shake till your eyes close. I'm not resuscitated.
That's fine.
Because it's easy. It just makes too good a sense.
I mean, listen, if they're doing it on a business deal and whatever, sure, if they had all those conversations.
It's a business decision. It's not like.
But you're also trusting Jeannie to have had the foresight to have had those conversations.
I don't think it's that far-fetched. I don't even think it takes a ton of intellect.
It hopefully doesn't. Otherwise,
especially
I'm not sure the Lakers are capable of it.
I'll opt back in and sign for less.
Do you think they had all those conversations beforehand?
Probably.
I don't know.
You don't luck into that. Not even her.
Who knows?
See you. Have a good day. Love you.